On a Saturday afternoon in London, the buzz begins long before the first bell as Tottenham Hotspur Stadium rises like a coliseum in the North London sky. And tonight, that anticipation turns into impact. Clash of the Giants. The main card is coming up live at 7 p.m. local time, streaming around the world on Netflix. Two-time heavyweight champion Tyson Fury returns home. The Gypsy King back beneath the bright lights. But standing across from him is the iron-fisted menace, Arslanbek Makhmudov, a destroyer built to end comebacks before they begin. In our co-main event, second-generation star Conor Benn clashes with two-time 140-pound champion Regis Prograis at a catchweight of 150 pounds. There's British heavyweight title action as Jamie Shakiba, better known as TKV, defends against Richard Riakporhe. And British Olympic bronze medalist Fraser Clark goes head-to-head with Australia's Justice Hooney, also at heavyweight. But before all that, we bring you a six-pack of scraps on our prelim show. A future world champion. That's how Shakur Stevenson describes Breon Gorum, who takes on Eduardo Costa at 140. Undefeated prospect Mikey Talon battles Leandro Blanc at 115. Undefeated German star Simon Zachenhuber opposes Pavel August at light heavyweight. Former British and Commonwealth middleweight champion Felix Cash collides with Liam O'Hare in an all-British affair. Saudi Arabia's teen sensation Sultan Al-Mohammed looks to go 3-0 when he faces Hector Lozano. And we get things started in the super welterweight division with Elliot Whale against Tom Hill. Hello there and welcome inside Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for a fantastic night of fights. I'm Mauro Ranallo along with undefeated two-division champion and Hall of Famer Andre Ward and another former two-division champ, David the Haymaker Hay. David, a setting like this never gets old.
It doesn't. As a kid, you always dream of fighting in a big stadium like this. You know, so many people from all over the world come to these big events, and you get that bit extra when you come into a fight like this. You see these young kids coming in here, particularly the undercard. The bigger guys have been there before, but these young guys coming in here and experiencing the ambiance of this event and this arena is what it's all about.
Andre, the return of the Gypsy King, the former two-time heavyweight champion. His fifth retirement is over against Arslanbek Makhmudov. What intrigues you the most about the main event?
I'm excited to see what Tyson Fury shows up. We never know what kind of Tyson Fury is going to show up mentally, emotionally, physically. But I feel like the sport is better when Tyson Fury is clicking. When he's talking his talk and he's backing it up. And we're here to see if he can back it up tonight.
All right, let's get the prelims party started with ring announcer Thomas Treiber.
Let's first welcome to the ring, Tom One Bomb Hill.
Sun in the sky, breeze drifting on by,
and here comes the 30-year-old one-bomb Tom Hill. A native of Middlesbrough, Yorkshire, England. He resides in Redcar, Yorkshire, England. His manager says both of these fighters are 10-round fighters, so it's going to be a different type of tilt over the 6 scheduled rounds. For Hill, this is his first appearance here in Tottenham. The last time out, he was beaten on points over 10 rounds by Akram Awina in Milano, Italia last December. Hill had the Italian down 2 times, but it wasn't enough.
It wasn't. Sometimes you've really got to win those rounds. And when you're in foreign territory, you've got to make it happen.
He has spent time sparring inside the Mayweather gym in Las Vegas. He says that at this stage of his career, he only wants big fights. And he's getting things started on a big night here in London. 12-4 with 3 knockouts, 1 bomb, Tom Hill.
And now let's welcome to the ring the undefeated Elliot Whale.
native of Sidcup, Kent, England, the southpaw Elliot Whale, who is undefeated at 13-0 with 8 finishes. His manager, Errol Johnson, said that Whale is patient, breaks his opponents down, but he can't afford to lose the first few rounds. He also confirms that it's hard to find opponents for Whale at this stage.
It really is. Nobody wants to be the guy against a tricky, crisp southpaw. You know, when someone's got those skills, you've got to be a very good level not to look very bad against him.
Also fighting for the first time in Tottenham, he describes himself as boxing's best-kept secret, is coming off a 6-round knockout win of Ashley Eels last December. So 6 rounds or less to get things started here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Clash of the Giants, Fury versus Makhmudov from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England. It is being brought to you by Ring Magazine and Netflix. We get things started with 6 rounds scheduled in the super welterweight division. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Louis Van Potch. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing red with black and weighed in officially at 148.4 pounds. Coming to us from Redcar, Yorkshire, England, he has a professional record of 12 wins, 4 defeats, with 3 of his 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former Northern Area champion, Tom "One Bomb" Hill. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white, green, and red, and weighed in officially at 149.3 pounds. Hailing from Sidcup, Kent, England, he is undefeated with 13 wins. 8 of his 13 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the undefeated former Commonwealth silver champion, Elliot Whale.
Okay, boxers, you're both professionals, you both know the rules, you both know what I expect. If I say break or stop, you break clean, take a full step back, obey my commands at all times, but above all, protect yourself all the time. Touch gloves.
Referee Louis Van Potch with final instructions. Elliot Whale, One Bomb Tom Hill.
Seconds out, round 1.
Ready to go at it. The southpaw Whale in the white, green, and red. The orthodox Hill in the red and black, and they meet in the center of the ring, immediately pawing at each other with the jab. The southpaw going to the body with a straight left hand.
Whale's going to really, in the back of his mind, want to get the stoppage. You know, Hill's only ever been stopped once. He's got this opportunity here on his massive card. He's going to really want to find a way to break his opponent down. He's got 6 rounds, which is plenty of time.
I was going to say, how does the approach change from going from 8 rounds to 6, or does it?
It does. You got to get going earlier. That was a nice right lead uppercut. Very nice shot. It's sort of half a jab, half an uppercut. But you can't think too much about the stoppage. He's got to have it in the back of his mind that he needs to start fast without taking anything on the inside. He wants to look good here. He doesn't want to have a scrappy fight where he gets put down. You know, he wants to raise his value as a fighter here.
Lots of feints. The southpaw again going to the body with a bit of a bolo-esque punch there. Half bolo punch, half uppercut, but still very much a tactical start, a feeling out process, looking to navigate the territory, try to find the range with the jab. Nice right hand over the top of the jab by the southpaw, and again, Whale making that early investment to the body.
Makes a massive difference.
Oh, nice straight right hand through the guard, though, by Hill.
I know Hill's landed a big sort of right hook earlier on that sort of seemed to bother Whale, hit him right in the nose. His nose is reddened, and I don't think he was expecting that.
It's too early to audition for Rudolph.
No, Hill didn't come here to pick up a paycheck. He's looking for the win.
Yeah, cuffing left hook upstairs by Hill. Elliot Whale 13-0 with 8 knockouts, again going to the body with the left hand. This is the 4th undefeated opponent that Hill has faced, and he's 1-2. Nice left hand upstairs and nice pivot by Whale. Final minute of the opening round.
Whale looking a bit, he doesn't look as settled as he has done in the past. I think he's been hit with a few big shots.
But there was a nice 2-punch combination with the left hand, and while Hill has had maybe the more eye-catching shots, I appreciate Whale's diligent effort to the body. Under half minute remaining, Hill putting on the pressure now on that front foot, and of course you want to watch that lead foot battle. As a southpaw, you want to get that foot to the outside.
It's the battle of the front feet is what it is.
Nice left.
Big left from Whale there. He seems to be settling down finally. It was a little bit scrappy early.
Beautiful.
Once again with the body assault.
Nice right hook there on the exit as the end of the round is upon us.
Hill and his team must be very happy with his first start. That was that lead sort of uppercut come hook. The bigger shots for sure coming from Whale. The southpaw stance making a massive difference there. It's a very evenly matched fight.
Hill had his moments as well, no doubt about it. In his corner, Nicky Wiley, while Elliot Whale's chief second is Shiny Singh.
Both landed some good shots on each other. Very evenish round, that first one.
And very much living up to the billing of Whale, who's patient, takes his time, wanting to break his opponent down, and you do that by going to the body.
You really do. And in regards to who landed the better body shots, Whale for sure. The more eye-catching. If I was to lean to anyone in that first round, it would be to Whale.
And interestingly, I agree with you, although I do not score the fights. We're here to tell the story, but definitely a nice opening 3 minutes and much more aggressive pace to start the second.
I noticed when Hill went back to his corner after the last round, him and his team looked very, very positive. He kind of cheered himself. Yeah, there you go, like he got it exactly as he wanted it. So, he, as I said, you get some of these guys who have a few losses on the record and they're kind of turning up to pick up a paycheck.
Oh, nice.
Hill's not in that category. He's here to win.
Yeah, right hand from Hill, who has been defeated 4 times, but Elliot Whale comes in with that perfect record of 13-0, wanting to continue to build on his resume and getting that additional exposure here in our opening contest of what is a 10-fight night at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, culminating with the return of the Gypsy King, 2-time heavyweight champion Tyson Fury against knockout artist Arslanbek Makhmudov. Whale again going to the body with the left hand. And there's a right hook to the body by Whale.
Whale really is laying them on. You know, this is why he's got so many knockouts. You know, eight knockouts out of 13 victories. You know, that at this weight category, you've really got to have a real naturally heavy hands.
And Whale coming off a 6th round stoppage in his last fight last December, backing Hill up. Hill coming forward now, resets.
Whale seemed to have got his rhythm now. He's doing that body shot.
Yes, and the right
again.
hook. The body shot, right hook combination for the southpaw seems to be an effective combo. And again, leads his attack with body shots. Then goes upstairs. Hill digging away to the body as well.
He's landed 6 or 7 body shots in the last 30 seconds.
And a beautiful double, triple jab by Whale, but there a nice right hand splitting the guard for Hill. It's interesting that the more thudding impact is from Hill, but Whale is the more active fighter in landing the body shots and upstairs.
He really is. And what I've noticed as well, Hill's starting to block the body shots, which you're supposed to do, but he's really blocking it. He's bringing his arms down and he's exposing his head. And I saw Whale throw a sort of a left hook to the head after the body shot, and it landed. So he's setting him up with the body shots to bring his arms down to land the big overhand.
Good combination from the southpaw. What I'm impressed by Whale, he immediately exits out. He goes out at an angle.
He turns. He's been watching his Lomachenko. He really has. Nice angles. He's got into his flow now. This is the southpaw sort of flow he's got with that left uppercut to the body. He's got into it. He's got the cobwebs out after that first round. That second round, taking very much control of the second round.
Spin this first one out, put me up. Look it up. Good. Nice deep breath. Now what I'd like you to do is everybody shots it lovely. Still getting forward and staying in front of him. Your ankles are sweet. Land the shot, get round him and then drop downstairs. The hold on good. And then sell and get the point and come over top. Lean hand or rear hand off. You're looking for the backhand all the time. Just be good with the little feints. Don't be lazy.
So according to CompuBox, David, in that last round, Elliot Whale landed 14 of body
10
shots.
seconds.
That's plenty right there. That makes a difference. And you got to remember, you know, in 2024, getting a silver medal at the Commonwealth Games, Wales got that amateur pedigree, fighting different champions from all over the Commonwealth, and he was the second best. He got the silver medal there. So
yeah, turned pro in 2019 after an 83-25 amateur career. Hill is facing his third consecutive southpaw opponent and fourth in his last 5 fights, so it's not a look that's a stranger to him.
it definitely isn't.
And how would you prepare for a southpaw opponent?
I'd have very good southpaw sparring. You know,
is it easy to find very good southpaw sparring?
It's very difficult. I used to bring a guy over called Tony Thompson. Very good southpaw, very strong, tough, and we used to give him a bonus for every jab he could land during the spar.
Hill continues to be picked off with those body shots, that bolo-type punch, that uppercut to the body by Whale. What is that? He has to obviously defend, but then you open up the headshot.
Exactly, that's the point. You get someone comfortable blocking the body shots, that left to the body, then what you do after 3 or 4, you look down and throw it up top, and you end up nailing them right on the button. I really do like the angles, stepping out to the side, the battle of the front foot. If you look at Wales' front foot, he's predominantly getting his foot on the outside of Hill's, just like he is here.
Yeah, more angles than a geometry class for Elliot Whale, the 28-year-old who's found his rhythm. Meanwhile, Tom Hill, known as One Bomb, only has 3 KOs, but it looks like he's wanting to land the one bomb. Nice right hook, again, off the angle by Whale.
As this fight goes on, Wales getting more and more conditioned. He's really feeling the energy in there. And all of these assaults from Hill, they seem to be bouncing off Whale. He seems to be very comfortable at this stage.
What are the pros and cons of fighting outdoors?
The pros, you get the fresh air. I've always liked the feel of opening up my lungs in a tough fight and getting that fresh air. You know, I've fought in small halls before, and you can sort of taste the condensation in there when all the people are breathing in there. But when it's open doors, there's something sort of primitive about it, where, you know, humans used to fight out there on the battlefield, and it feels natural.
And yet you look around, still people trickling in. It's very early, of course. They're all going to be here for the main event, and yet kind of odd to have this cavernous edifice with not very many people in it watching a fight.
But when you're in there, when you're in the heat of the battle, you don't care whether there's a bunch of people around you. You're just zoned in. You know, if this place was packed to the rafters right now, these guys would be fighting just as they are.
Great point, and Whale is definitely putting the pace together, going upstairs, downstairs now, the angles, the upper body movement. Elliot Whale has found his groove here in round 3.
Another solid round from Whale there. He's getting into his rhythm. Every round that goes by, he's improving. Yeah, the 2-1, beautiful from Whale with a nice feint. Coming out the side, looking for those awkward angles which you can't defend against. This is real quality. This is real quality boxing here.
Well, 2 guys in their physical primes and really looking to take it to the next level. Let's listen in if we can.
Good work off you. Away, shorten them if you need to a little bit closer. Seconds out.
Round 4.
This is round 4, scheduled for 6, between the undefeated Elliott Whale in the white, green, and red trunks and the 12-4 one-bomb Tom Hill in the red and black. And again, Whale, not to say it's a predictable pattern, but bringing together the same fluid combinations that Hill's unable to pick off.
He is, and as the fight goes further, he's finding more angles. He's looking more comfortable. He's doing more damage. That's a sign of someone who is a 12-round fighter. You know, the amateurs come out and they have the first 2, 3, 4 good rounds, then they fade out.
And you see the difference. Whale not only out-throwing Hill, but landing him by a wide margin.
This is that pedigree. You can see why he remains undefeated up until this point, and something dramatic needs to happen from Whale if he's going to turn the tide here.
Yeah, the amateur pedigree, and now the 14th professional outing of Elliott Whale, who is tattooing Hill with that sharp jab upstairs, body shots, and the angles.
There was a big body shot to set that up. He's really investing heavily in that body, and it's paying off.
Yeah, he's attacking the body like it's filled with candy, Mr. Hay. A minute and a half left in the 4th. Nice 1-2.
And he's keeping the pace. He's not looking at getting too far away after he lands his assault. He stands there looking for the counters, and he's just got him. And there you go again. He waits for Hill to punch. That's when he lets off the big bombs.
Yeah, he's got his timing down and going back again to the body with the right hook, the straight left hand upstairs.
He's cutting some beautiful angles in there. There you go, once again. He'll be very, very pleased with this performance when he watches it back.
You've just jinxed him, Mr. Hay. Over 6 minutes left. But I hear you, my man. It's been a terrific start for Elliott Whale. The upset-minded Tom Hill now along the ropes, getting clubbed upstairs with the right hand.
Yeah, Hill started to realize he's...
overhand left scores for Whale.
And Hill's starting to realize it's all going downhill from this point.
4-punch combination. Now Whale riding uphill, and the referee watching, and the referee steps in, and Elliott Whale secures his 14th straight victory to start his professional career with knockout number 9.
The referee made the correct decision there. Yes, Hill could have possibly carried on a little further, but there was no chance of him doing anything there. He was slowly and consistently getting broken down. The body shots, the whole body demeanor was showing that he was about to get banged out effectively, and the referee done him a favor there to save him for another day.
Tom Hill disappointed with the stoppage as he loses for the 5th time, but for Elliott Whale, the 28-year-old, his kids, Sonny and Cindy, going to be very pleased with Daddy as he records a whale of a victory here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I want to thank the 2-division champion David Hay for his analysis, as he and Andre Ward will be alternating throughout the night. But David, take us through the highlights of this fight before we let you go.
Yeah, Whale really got his rhythm. The first round, he had a few cobwebs. Maybe him and his team are going to go back and work on starting in the first round as he means to go on. I know when he watches that first round, he will not be happy with the clean shots he was taking. He's a slickster. He's not about taking unnecessary shots, and I definitely feel in that first round there's a few things that could tighten up, but from round 2, 3, he really came into his own. Very, very impressive, and that's the real him. He just needs to start from round 1 exactly as he finished this fight.
All right, let's go back inside the ring. Here once again is Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes 39 seconds of round number 4. Our referee in charge, Louis Van Poch, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Elliott Whale.
Well, his manager said it's very hard to find opponents for Elliott Whale and may become even more difficult after that performance, as he's now 14-0 with 9 knockouts. And great sign of sportsmanship as the disappointed Tom Hill showing his respect to the victor. And what a maiden voyage here in Tottenham for Elliott Whale. And the early crowd enjoying their festivities. England home to some of the most passionate fans in the sport. This stadium has its own brewery because nothing says fight night like a pint or two. And so, as the sun is shining in, Mother Nature definitely a fight fan tonight. And let's go now to Anna Woolhouse standing by with the winner.
Elliott, 14-0, your 9th stoppage win on a big platform, a big stage this evening. On paper, it wasn't an easy fight, but you ground him down. Talk me through it.
First thing I want to say quickly is one of my close friends is going through some real tragic times at the minute. His missus has got cancer, and we're doing a charity three-peak challenge, you know what I mean? And he's got to take her to Germany for life-saving treatment. Check out the link in my bio on Instagram, and please, if you can donate anything, please. She's got 2 young kids, man, so please just help her out.
Beautiful words, and no doubt you were fighting for them this evening as well. But just talk me through the fight, because a really, really solid performance from you.
Well, listen, I knew that he was a tough fighter. Obviously, although he has been in there with some good fighters, he hasn't been able to beat them yet. You know what I mean? But I feel like he's probably had tougher tests than I have at this stage of my career. So I was expecting a hard fight, and I felt like I was pretty sharp from the get-go, which is unlike me, really. You know what I mean? And then in the end, I just kept chopping him downstairs and broke him down. And in the end, I think I caught him with a good couple of body shots, and he weren't really throwing nothing back. So I just thought I'd unload a little bit, and the ref jumped in. So I'm very happy.
And the sun came out as well. You kicked off the afternoon's action. What's it like boxing? Amazing stadium on a big platform.
This is what dreams are made of. Obviously, I'm first on, you know what I mean? And it's still quite a decent amount of people. I want to say big thanks to all my supporters that come out and bought tickets. I think I've done just over 200 tickets, so very grateful for that. I'm grateful for Spencer Brown at Gold Star, obviously getting me on the shows, and let's get something big next.
Brilliant. Congratulations, Elliott.
Thank you so much.
All right, Anna, thank you very much, and I definitely speak for everyone. Let's KO cancer once and for all, and let's continue with the fistic festivities. Let's go back inside the ring. Here's Thomas Treiber.
Let's continue, and first welcome to the ring from Mexico, Hector Lozano.
Well, I'm very pleased to be joined by undefeated 2-division champion and Hall of Famer Andre Ward as we get things started here in our second bout of the night. And Andre, we're looking at a 27-year-old from Mexico, Hector Lozano, who is fighting for the first time here in Tottenham, but he has fought 8 previous times on UK soil. He's 0-7-1, so he's overdue for a victory.
Yes, he is. He's here to play the spoiler against the young fighter coming up, Al-Mohammed, who is a very exciting fighter, and he's coming from a very exciting stable up in Big Bear with Abel Sanchez. So Lozano is here to play the spoiler for sure.
Yeah, Lozano's had back-to-back knockouts, but this is his first fight in 10 months, and he turned professional when Al-Mohammed was just 14 years old. And after winning his pro debut, Lozano plunged into that hole we talked about, only to produce that current knockout streak. And hey, back-to-back wins via knockout will build your confidence. Hector Lozano, as Andre said, looking to play spoiler here tonight.
And now let's welcome to the ring from Saudi Arabia, the undefeated Sultan El Nino Al-Mohammed.
Well, Andre, it's not every day that a 18-year-old teenager gets this type of stage, but not every 18-year-old teenager is Sultan Al-Mohammed. Yes, just 2-0 as a pro with 1 knockout, but trained by one of the most respected trainers in the sport, Abel Sanchez, in Big Bear, California. Began boxing at the age of 6 because of his dad and was recruited by his excellency Turki Al-Sheikh to the Mike Tyson Boxing Club. So he saw something in this youngster very, very early.
He did, and Al-Mohammed actually had his pro debut on the Canelo Crawford undercard, another outside venue, another arena venue, excuse me. And so he looks like Al-Mohammed that he wants the spotlight, he wants the big moment, and he thrives on it, and he's got another big stage here tonight.
Third consecutive scheduled 4-rounder. Completed the distance in his pro debut, but is coming off a KO win.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Brought to you by Ring Magazine and Netflix. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, and scoring the contest will be Reese Carter. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with red and weighed in officially at 131.2 pounds. Coming to us from El Fuerte, Sinaloa, Mexico. He brings a professional record consisting of 3 wins, 7 defeats, 1 draw. All 3 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hector Lozano. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing blue trunks and weighed in officially at 130.15 pounds. Hailing from Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, he brings an undefeated record with 2 wins. One of his 2 wins comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Sultan El Nino Al-Mohammed.
Right, gentlemen, listen to me. Defend yourselves at all times. Good luck. Shake hands.
Referee Reese Carter with final instructions as we are set for a 4-round sprint in the junior lightweight division, or super featherweight. I prefer saying super to junior.
Seconds out. I like
in
super.
all divisions. Round number 1. And for Lozano, making his way to the UK from Mexico, has had, as mentioned, 8 previous fights here, so is obviously acclimated to what to expect when you come to the United Kingdom. But this is a whole different type of atmosphere against a whole different type of opponent. And, of course, still very much in the embryonic stages for Al-Mohammed, and yet he's here for a reason, Andre.
He is. He's got a bright future, and it's so interesting when you see a young fighter with promise and upside like Al-Mohammed. You see so many great things. You also see the mistakes, but you can tell that there's so much there that he can build on. And this 4-round sprint won't be a problem for Al-Mohammed because he likes to start fast.
Both of them off to a fast start as good two-way action here with that jab from Al-Mohammed, a very stiff weapon. And, of course, the jab, as Andre, anyone knows, it can be used for various techniques, both as a disruptor, as a setting of the rhythm.
It can set things up, and it gets you out of trouble if you find yourself in trouble by getting hurt. And Al-Mohammed, along with the rest of that stable that Abel Sanchez had, they're being taught the right way.
And at high altitude, which doesn't hurt.
Yeah, if you can survive Big Bear, California, you can survive anywhere.
Lozano facing his 7th undefeated opponent. He once fought 4 official fights in a 27-day span. Who does he think he is, Henry Armstrong?
Right.
What is that, an old school throwback?
Some good work from Al-Mohammed, not only the jab, but body work, yes. Patient body work. And you just don't see that sometimes, even from veterans. It's a fundamental punch body work or a jab, but you just get away from it at times, and this young fighter is doing that in this first round.
Yeah, the punch selection, the tempo, sitting down on those shots. Lozano backing up now, and he's already feeling the effects of some of these punches, and it doesn't help Lozano when you lead in with your head.
That's his style, and he's paying for it right now because the young fighter is giving him what he's looking for.
And he's already the young fighters look for that uppercut as Lozano leans in, looking to time that shot.
Uppers and punches around the ear because the head is right there. So you see the looping shot right there.
And a short left hook by Al-Mohammed. 30 seconds left here in the first frame.
Now Al-Mohammed already has the veteran fighter Lozano looking more to defend himself than he is to actually punch.
Yeah, even went southpaw for a moment, looking to maybe break the rhythm of Al-Mohammed, who already feels like he is cooking, and that uppercut is becoming a more prominent weapon. Nice three-punch combination punctuated by the left hook upstairs. But here comes Lozano.
Good work right here from Al-Mohammed. When a fighter leans forward, that's what you want to do. You want to rip those shots underneath like that, short shots, not wide shots, but shots just like that, and they land clean.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Instructions from Abel Sanchez in the Sultan Al-Mohammed corner as we start round number 2. Al-Mohammed coming off a body shot KO in his last fight against Umesh Chavan last November. His trainer said, I don't really like first-round knockouts because you don't learn anything.
Well, the first-round knockout can be deceiving, and it starts to give you a false sense as a young fighter. Al-Mohammed needs just what he's dealing with right now. He needs a good first round that went his way, but then the second round, he's already having to make adjustments because the tough fighter's coming right at him.
Yep, Lozano coming straight forward. The double tough Mexican whose record may not be the best, but always shows up, gives it his all, his heart and his guts, and trying to disrupt Al-Mohammed here in the second round by crowding him a bit.
Need the right amount of resistance for a young fighter.
Nice uppercut on the inside by Al-Mohammed. And it's all Al-Mohammed in terms of the statistical story.
Good offense from Al-Mohammed, but I talked about some of the things that you see in a young fighter that they do wrong. He's rushing his shots. He'll learn to settle just a bit and place those shots where they land right in the right spot that could possibly end the fight. But he's in school in real time. A sneaky defense right there from Lozano.
And I wanted to talk about the defense as Al-Mohammed is getting hit now with a couple of shots. And obviously in boxing you want to make him miss, make him pay, but you're going to get hit. How do you address his defense so far in this fight?
Well, you got to understand who his teacher is. You know, he's coming from the Gennady Golovkin school, and, you know, their school is offense is defense and be tough. So he's not going to be a defensive specialist. Maybe he turns into that, but it looks like his offense will be his primary tool.
Oh, right cross by Lozano, but did not disturb Al-Mohammed as he ripped off a four-punch combination. A lot of those punches were blocked, but still, you see the hand speed, you see the technique, the placement of the right uppercut, another right uppercut by Al-Mohammed.
But I also like the craftiness and the toughness of Lozano.
Yes.
He's finding a way to survive, and he's even sneaking some shots in himself.
And this is, as you mentioned, a youngster only 18 years of age. You need some questions to be answered. You need to be put through different tests at different stages of your career, and this is just his third professional fight.
And one of the biggest tests is the young fighter needs to understand that every fighter won't go just because you hit him with a tough shot.
Well said. Under a half minute remaining here in the second round. Almost through the midway point again. It's a 4-round fight in the super featherweight division. That right hand landed for Al-Mohammed. Another right hand scores upstairs.
Al-Mohammed getting a little wide with the shots right now. Good shot right there to the body from Al-Mohammed. good work from Al-Mohammed. His opponent comes forward, he rips him with the uppercut, which is the shot you're supposed to land, but he doesn't neglect the body work. We talked about that. Another scraping left hand right there, but then we've seen Al-Mohammed go to the body throughout the course of this fight and then finish back upstairs. Good variation, good cadence from the young fighter.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Okay, take the ball, please.
Seconds out. Round 3.
The undefeated teenager Sultan Al-Mohammed in the blue trunks. Hector Lozano, 27-year-old veteran from Mexico, in the black and red. And we've seen the effective work by Al-Mohammed, including those uppercuts. What's the key to landing the uppercut, Andre?
Well, I think number one is positioning. You got to understand if your opponent is in the right spot to be hit with that shot. And Al-Mohammed thus far has chosen the right time to throw it when the opponent leans forward. But I actually like what he's doing right now. He's taking a beat, he's breathing, and he's setting things back up with that original punch we talked about, which was the jab. Because Lozano can take the hard shot that he can see. Can you sneak a shot in there that he does not see? And that may be the shot that ends the night. And this is the thinking part that we were talking about. Your young fighter needs to take a couple deep breaths in a fight. He needs to have to go in his bag and think a little bit. And we're seeing Al-Mohammed have to think in this third round.
Al-Mohammed continues to march forward, pushes Lozano back, lands the left uppercut and the left hook to the body. But there is that composure. There is that maturity beyond his years.
And not getting frustrated because the opponent isn't falling to the floor just yet. That builds mental toughness and character in a fighter.
And you need experience. You need rounds. As there is not the strongest of amateur programs in Saudi Arabia, yet Abel Sanchez telling us that Sultan Al-Mohammed is a guy that continues to improve day in, day out in the gym, and we continue to see the evolution in just his third professional fight.
Right, and he wasn't a 100-fight amateur, but he did have 50 fights. That's a decent amateur career.
As Lozano along the ropes trying to survive this offensive onslaught from Al-Mohammed, who's effective with both hands. There's another right hand and a body shot by Al-Mohammed.
I respect the Lozanos in the fight game. This guy came in here. He's not supposed to win. He's trying to upset the young prospect. He's taking a lot of punishment, but he's not turning. He's not quitting. And he's still finding ways to sneak in those veteran shots.
Left hook by Lozano upstairs, but it does not deter Sultan Al-Mohammed.
No, it doesn't.
And Al-Mohammed now pawing away with the jab.
Al-Mohammed, he said, let me take a breather.
Yeah, there, and beautiful. He's landing that right uppercut at will, and there's some hand speed on display. And the angle. So he's showing us a lot as a young professional.
A lot to like in this young fighter.
Nice right hand. That jacked the jaw of Lozano. The referee has stepped in and he has seen enough. And Sultan Al-Mohammed improves to 3-0 with his second KO. And Andre, do you agree with the stoppage?
Good stoppage. When you start to see the opponent's head snap back multiple times, you got to know that the referee's looking close and that he's going to jump in. And that's exactly what he did.
What impressed you the most about this 18-year-old teen sensation from Saudi Arabia?
Just all of it. I see the rushing, but I also see good patience. I see some of the wrong shots that the young fighter threw, but many good shots that he threw. I see power that's going to continue to develop as he gets his man bones, and as he continues to grow and get more experience, this young man, we're going to be talking about him for a long time.
Let's talk about what he did in this fight.
Well, these are the kind of shots that set up that knockout. Shots to snap the opponent's head back. Good angle right there. He stepped to the side, made his opponent look for him, and then before he knew it, he got hit again. And this is toward the end of the fight. He closed in, and he had the instincts, Al-Mohammed, to know that the ref was on his shoulder. He's getting close, and if I just hit him with the right shot, the fight will be over, and that's exactly what happened.
Is he the only professional with a curfew?
He might be.
Great things to come for this 18-year-old El Nino Sultan Al-Mohammed, who is now 3-0 with 2 KOs. Great work from Andre Ward. We'll be hearing from him a little bit later in the prelims, but we are ready with the official result. Here once again is Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes 46 seconds of round number 3. Our referee in charge, Reese Carter, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Sultan El Nino Al-Mohammed.
Sultan Al-Mohammed, the winner by TKO, now 3-0 with 2 stoppages. And you talk to his trainer, Abel Sanchez, and he'll tell you what's impressed him the most is this youngster's work ethic, his discipline, the fact that he shows up at the gym willing to give everything, and now looking to become a fighter to keep your eyes on. Still very early in his career, but Sultan Al-Mohammed, a prospect to watch. And we are just getting things started on what has turned out to be a beautiful spring day here in London in this incredible setting, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And while it might not be the best of days for footy fans of the Spurs, lots of great boxing action coming your way here, not only on the prelims, but of course the main card tonight. It's all about the heavyweights, save for the co-main. That's going to be contested at a contract weight of 150 pounds between Conor Benn and former 2-time champ Regis Prograis. Let's now go back to Anna Woolhouse with the winner.
I certainly am. I'm with Sultan Al-Mohammed. Congratulations. You move on to 3-0. Very early days in your career. You made your debut on the Canelo Crawford bill, and you've been just impressed once again on the big stage.
I feel proud. I feel good. And that was a good fight, good experience, and the next will be better.
You picked up your first couple of wins in your professional career before you were at 18. What's the goal? What do you want to go on and achieve?
I wanted to build. I'm not looking for tomorrow, I'm looking for forward. Inshallah, next, I'm looking for the future for the build.
Well, let's bring in your coach, Abel Sanchez, who trains, of course, the likes of Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. How much of a talent is he?
You know what? He's a young man. He's only 18 years old, so it's a work in progress. I would take one fight at a time. He did a lot of improvements today from the last one, so I'm glad that it went 3 rounds, so we got a chance to work on the things we're working on in the gym. Hopefully his management can get him in there again soon.
I guess one of the questions is how quickly do you move the likes of Al-Mohammed?
I'd like to fight him every 2 months. That's the way guys improve. You know, we take too much time off to kind of forget what they did in the past, so I like to fight them every couple months and have fights like this where there's somebody in front of them that's going to give them a hard time.
Of course, you're here representing Saudi as well. How proud are you?
I'm very proud. Thanks for His Excellency to put me in this card, and I will make Saudi proud of me.
Congratulations. Brilliant performance.
Thank you very much, Anna, and I'm welcoming back a 2-division champion, a cruiserweight champ, and a heavyweight champ, David the Haymaker Hay, back to the broadcast. David, what were you doing at 18 in your career?
At 18, I was traveling the world as an England international, fighting in different tournaments, fighting the best, the champions of all of the countries, and I was having a good time. I was enjoying myself. I was hitting the clubs. I was not drinking. I wasn't drinking, weren't doing drugs. I was just having a good time and fighting. That was it, really.
Well, the night is about the heavyweights on the main card, and what about the return of Tyson Fury at 37, his 5th retirement? He's got a tremendous record. The only guy to beat him is Alexander Usyk, but he's 0 for 4 in retirement.
He is. The heavyweight division is so much better with Tyson Fury in it. The hype, the excitement, you know, the fights that can be made. You know, we all knew he was, you know, quote-unquote retired, but you knew he was waiting to come back. And Makhmudov is the perfect guy for him to come back after a 16-month layoff. He did a long 16-week camp in Thailand, which I think is a good thing. Getting his body re-established with the roughness of training and sparring. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
All right, main card coming up live at 7 local time on Netflix. Let's go back in the ring. Here is Thomas Triber.
Let's now welcome to the ring, Liam O'Hare.
Well, it may be a bittersweet symphony for the Bird, but let's hope it's not a bittersweet night for Liam O'Hare if you're a fan of his. The 29-year-old who is 13-2 with 4 knockouts, a native of Farnborough, Hampshire, England, resides in Hereford, Herefordshire, England, and is making his first walk in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as a professional prize fighter. He may just be 3-2 in his last 5 fights following a 10-0 start. Both fights were by KO, so he has been stopped, but he's here ready to put on a show. He comes from a military family. He worked in the cafe of a charity for military veterans. He earned a bachelor's degree in business from the University of Hull, so he's well educated, but he's hoping to deliver a painful lesson here tonight.
He really is, and he's up against it in Cash, because Cash is a very, very solid fighter. He hasn't been around for a little while, but he's going to really need to be at his best, as the people he's defeated so far are nowhere near Cash's level.
Well, O'Hare says despite what the pundits might think, he sees it as a 50-50 fight. He said he knows he's going to have to be careful with his chin early on, as 10 of Cash's 16 wins have come by knockout. O'Hare is a father of 3 and ready to do it for his family here tonight.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Felix Cash.
I know you were never afraid of the spotlight, Mr. David Hay, and it seems that Felix Cash is always ready for the big stage, and here he is at 16-1 with 10 knockouts, making his first appearance here in Tottenham. And despite this fight being contested at over 160, he said he is staying at middleweight, and despite the legendary status of middleweight, we need new blood.
We really do, and I don't know how he gets down to middleweight. He's an absolute monster. And I think it's down to him having like 3% body fat. He's so shredded. Look at him on the scales yesterday. He literally looked like a bodybuilder in there in regards to the lack of body fat. He rehydrated today and very big at the weight, very sharp. It's great to see him back here, back in the ring, doing what he does best. This is his home, the boxing ring. He needs to stay here, he needs to stay in the gym, and I'm looking forward to this next phase of his career.
Former British and Commonwealth middleweight champion, he vacated both titles. Let's see what happens here this afternoon in London. Let's go now back to Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the super middleweight division. Brought to you by Ring Magazine and Netflix. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Louis Van Potch. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing green, pink, and black and weighed in officially at 162.2 pounds. Coming to us from Hereford, England, he has a professional record of 13 wins, 2 defeats, with 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former Midlands area champion, Liam O'Hare. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing blue and white and weighed in officially at 162.15 pounds. Hailing from Wokingham, Berkshire, England, he had a stellar amateur career, and now as a professional, he has 16 wins, just 1 defeat. 10 of his 16 wins come by way of knockout. ladies and gentlemen, here is the former British Commonwealth and WBC International Champion, Felix Cash.
Okay, boxers, you're both professionals, you both know the rules, you both know what I expect. If I say break or stop, you break clean, take a full step back, obey my commands at all times, but above all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Louis Van Poch, the ex-pro, and now a referee. He had over 170 fights, my goodness.
Seconds out, round one.
And we are set for action here in the super middleweight division as Felix Cash and Liam O'Hare.
No wasting time.
No, getting right to it.
Straight to it. I like that.
And Cash sitting down on those punches, using the center ring. Oh, a clubbing right hand over the top. And already he seems to have disrupted O'Hare as Cash is quickly on the attack.
O'Hare isn't moving his head. He's not really thinking too much about defense. And Cash really packs a punch.
O'Hare started out as a ballet dancer. You would think he'd be fleet of feet, but right now kind of stuck in the mud with this Felix Cash in front of him.
Yeah, he's going to have a hard time if he's not moving those feet. When Cash comes in to land his bombs, he needs to be moving those feet. He needs a bit of lateral movement. Standing there in front of him, he's going to have a very, very tough night.
And Cash looking to bounce back from his lone defeat against the betting underdog in southpaw Tyler Denny. Cash was behind on all scorecards and suffered his first loss by technical decision due to a cut. In fact, Cash has been cut in his last 3 fights.
You need to move that head then. If you're aware that you have a soft skin, I've always had soft skin around my eyes.
And there goes O'Hare on the counter, down in the first round.
O'Hare looked very, very hurt as he went down there, struggling to catch the ropes.
We talked about O'Hare's 2 losses. They've all been by knockout, and it looks like he is on the verge of getting stopped again. That's a second knockdown of the round.
O'Hare's going to need to do something very special to get through this round, because Cash is really looking to close the show here.
Cash has 5 first-round knockouts, the last one back in 2019, looking to close the show in the final minute of the first, looking for that 3rd knockdown, clubbing right, uppercut, left hook. Oh, the corner has stood up, looking to throw in the towel. The referee has not noticed. O'Hare trying to hold on for dear life.
O'Hare's got credit to him. He's really having a go, trying to swing back, but he's so outgunned. He's given it everything he's got. He just doesn't have the capabilities to put something together that's actually meaningful to keep Cash off him.
Cash had O'Hare stapled to the ropes. O'Hare's hands are down. His beard is being tested, already dropped twice. The clock becoming his biggest ally. 15 seconds left in the opening frame. And it's been all Felix Cash. Oh, and Cash got tagged. Here comes O'Hare. Oh, my. Wow, what a round.
Finish. I cannot believe that. I did not see that happening.
Oh.
That's exactly what Cash didn't need. What a great chin O'Hare has. What an absolute amazing set of recoveries. What he lacks in skill, he makes up in heart. Big right hand there from Cash. You know, his timing seems on point. It just seems as though he may not have done the rounds of sparring he needed, because the shot that he received at the end, there's something must be out on the way back in regards to his timing. He's so heavy-handed. When he lands, there's always an effect. I'm looking forward to seeing that shot. There you go. That was the one on the button. Shook him to his boots.
Well,
Cash really needs to realise, although he's got his man hurt and he's in control, you've got to have respect for the other man's punch power, no matter how bad you think they're gone.
Yeah, Cash coming off his first setback. That was back in June 2024. Has had to deal with some personal issues, but back at it here tonight. Had those 2 knockdowns in the first round. Almost knocked down himself in the latter stages of the round, but here we go, round 2, and it continues just like the first round, and again, the fight is over, and Felix Cash is money.
There you go. Once he relaxed and stopped trying, the shot came. He looked for the counter. It was there. Because in that first round, it's been a couple of years since he's been in there mixing it. And sometimes it takes a little while to get the cobwebs out. And they're well and truly out now. That little hook that he took at the end of the first round is exactly what he needed, and his coach needed to say, calm down, you're the superior fighter, the punch will come, don't rush it. And exactly what they said, he implemented. Perfect stoppage. The referee got that one just right.
Felix Cash returns to competition with a second round TKO. He's now 17-1 with his 11th knockout. He was 9 years old when he started going to the gym, had a reported 80 amateur bouts, won 5 national titles as an amateur. And let's review how Felix Cash recorded his 11th knockout. And David, is all that right hand, led by the jab.
Exactly, good stuff. Yeah, as soon as Cash got his rhythm, stopped trying to force the attack and waited for the opportunity to come, he slid that right hand in. It was beautiful. That type of timing is what's caused those many knockouts that he's had.
Like the Gypsy King Tyson Fury, Cash comes from a traveling background and a family of boxers, and he is victorious tonight. Let's make it official with Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 22 seconds of round number 2. Our referee in charge, Louis Van Potch, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout, Felix Cash.
All right, so the Cash crew improving to 17-1, a big return for Felix Cash after that long layoff, and impressing the onlookers with that display of power against his opponent Liam O'Hare. As we continue with the prelims portion of this spectacular event, still to come, of course, at the 7 o'clock hour local time on Netflix. The 4-fight main card, 3 of which will be in the heavyweight division, including the main event, the return of the Gypsy King after nearly 16 months of retirement, his 5th. He'll take on the Canadian-based Russian knockout artist Arslanbek Makhmudov. That's the main event coming up later tonight on Netflix. Right now, let's hear from Anna Wolfton and the Anna Woolhouse in the winner.
Something like that. Felix Cash, 2 years almost for you out the ring. That's how you do it. That's how you make your comeback, isn't it?
Listen, I think it's been well documented what I was doing out of the ring for the past 4 years. I was still fighting and drinking, alcohol problems, substance abuse, and everything I was doing. And I still wanted to fight so bad because boxing means so much to me because I've been doing it since I was a child. But sober now, I've been sober 10 months on the 16th of this month. And I'm telling you, I'm the best middleweight in this country. And I'll fight any single one of you middleweights out there. Felix Cash is back. And don't forget, Cash is king. And I'm coming.
Were there moments in the last couple of years where you didn't think you would be back in the ring?
Yeah, definitely. Before I come down and see this man, Jacob McMillan now, you know, I was in the dumps. You know, I was 3 months sober when I went to him because I was doing something else. I didn't think I was going to box again. Didn't really know if I wanted to box again. I could see Canelo and Crawford fight. I got a funny feeling on myself. I remember saying to my dad, I got a funny feeling this time. I rung him, he was chatting, he said, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? What are you actually doing? So I got a funny feeling come over me. And I think everything happens for a reason in life. And I've got a second chance now to finish the journey, unfinished business that I've got in the sport.
And you become a dad as well, so that's an inspiration to fight, no doubt.
Yeah, and I've got another one on the way. We ain't announced it yet. She probably didn't want to say because it ain't been 12 weeks yet, but it's 12 weeks next week. I've got another one on the way. So I'll have 5 kids. So I best keep fighting.
You need to keep busy. We saw Denzel Bentley, who you beat a while back, become the interim WBO champion. What's the plan for you? Do you want to make it back there? Can you make it back there, do you think?
Listen, it's not to my team, to my trainer, Spencer Brown. I want to say a massive thank you to Spencer Brown to get me on this card, give me another chance to get my career back on track on a big, massive stage. I'd like to thank everyone involved, Jacob, to get myself back. Denzel Bentley, if he wants it, I'll take that belt off him like I did the British. Not a problem at all. We'll speak to the team, see what's next, see what the biggest fight is, and what fight makes sense for me going forward.
Brilliant. Congratulations, Pete. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much, Anna Woolhouse. By the way, she can feel free to call me Moron Renardo for the rest of the night after I butchered that wonderful name. Hey, guess who's in the ring getting ready for the opening contest live on Netflix in the 7 o'clock hour local time? That's Olympic bronze medalist Fraser Clark and his new trainer, the highly respected Joe Gallagher. Fraser Clark looking to return from defeat just like his opponent, Justice Hooney. Hooney was dominating common opponent and current world heavyweight champion Fabio Wardley before getting stopped in the 10th round. So, Fraser Clark, Justice Hooney must win in the heavyweight division to kick off the main card later today, live around the world from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. And this has become a second home for British and world boxing. And coming up in the co-main event, of course, we have Conor Benn, who is taking on Regis Prograis at a catchweight of 150. But in true Dickensian fashion, it was the best of times and the worst of times for Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. in their duology. Now let's go back to last November right here in this estimable edifice where Conor Benn avenged his only loss.
A cacophony of noise sizzling at Spurs. The electricity ripping through this wonderful stadium. Remember that night in November 35 years ago when this dramatic rivalry exploded onto our screens. Eubank Senior stopping Nigel Benn in 9. Their rematch in October 93, ending in that draw at Old Trafford. Enter their fighting sons, Junior and Conor. The compelling toe-to-toe war in April. Again, a win in the Eubank column.
Move through the final instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect, a clean fight. Remember to obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Good luck, gents. Touch gloves.
What happens next in this fabled rivalry? Will it be round 13? Will Benn and Tony Sims have learned? Will Eubank and Bo Mack produce magic? Will the pair of them be able to hold back? Pugilistic entertainment all over again on the grandest of stages. This is what big-time boxing's about. Live on DAZN. Cannot wait, Darren and Barry.
And you feel a fast start required from both. If this is going to be like the first fight, rounds are going to be valuable here. Can't give any away.
Body shot from Benn was good early. He's had the 12 rounds at middleweight in April and still the younger and fresher man.
And the difference here, he's dipping down where the chest is over the front knee, so that means when he dips down, he can come back with something. In the first fight, it was all over the back leg. Nice short right hand there.
Hand speed from Conor Benn, impressive in the opener. And you wonder what that fight in April might have taken out of Chris Eubank. At 36 now, after 246 rounds of boxing, but he gets a right hand in to check Benn's early progress.
That's a nice jab, Barry, where he shoots down, he bends the knees and fires that jab from the hip.
And there's a right hand as well to follow the jab. And another one. Back comes Eubank. Well, here's the pockets of fire we wanted. Jab to the body again from Ben. It's calculated, educated. It's impressive, this from Conor Benn. Can Eubank meet fire with fire? What is going through his mind? How on a right hand from Ben. And another one. Eubank comes back at him and says, okay, let's go to war. Fans are loving the end of that round. They're talking to each other. Conor Benn is full of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, what a fantastic start, or first half of this contest from Conor Benn. Boxing beautifully, picking the shots well. That's a nice jab, but generally it's been everything from Ben. You know, the composure, using the right temperament in this contest, and you can see the body language on point. 50 Cent enjoying it.
25th fight of Conor Benn's career. He's been very accurate and very agile tonight. Boxed a beautiful fight.
Oh! Big right hand.
Good combination from Conor Benn, and he seems to be confident that he can really now take the fight to Eubank Jr. I think Conor Benn needed those 12 rounds in April. He'd been out a long time, grown into the 11 stone 6 division more than last time, and he's kept the speed as well. Right hand. Junior has got a minute and a half for the 10th and 6 after that to find something from somewhere to stop Conor Benn.
Remember Chris Senior against Rotacini in Germany did nothing.
Yep, and then bang.
Yep.
Good work.
Good shot.
Lovely left hook.
That was a jab right to the body. They call that the Tony Zhao in the Tony Sims gym. Jab upstairs, right to the body, left hook afterwards.
Wonderful combination. Yeah. Practice time and time again.
Yeah, well executed as well.
Oh, lovely.
Great work from Conor Benn. That jab again, the intelligence he's used tonight, Conor Benn. He was devastated afterwards. We went to see him backstage in April, and he was crying, and it was just the world had caved in on him. But he has gone back to the gym, and he's got this spot on.
At no point in this contest has the bigger man shown he's the bigger man.
Perfect example.
Yeah. Perfect example, right on cue. The crowd cheer. And look, he's the pantomime villain sometimes, Chris Eubank Jr. He's a great guy, and he's been a great fighter. But tonight has been all about Conor Benn, and it's another round in the bank. You've got to find it, bring the fire. You've got to have the round of your life. It's shoot or bust for Chris Eubank Jr. He's made it to round 12, but Conor Benn has put on an absolute masterclass. He's torn up the script here, and Junior has 2 minutes 50 to turn this on its head, or Conor Benn has the victory of his life.
And he proved a lot of people wrong, that he can box, he can make the adjustments. He isn't just a brawler.
And he might have had a flat fighter. He might have a fighter who's just one fight too many and all the things we've said. And I think that all that is true. But you still got to do the work. And you still got to keep that concentration. And you still got to make sure you're sharp. And he's done all that.
Trying to find that right hand. Junior, credit to both guys for taking this rematch after their war where they shared their souls in there that night in April. It's been very different, but it's been a more respectful build-up and a more tactical fight. But the tactics and the class tonight belongs to Conor Benn.
As you were talking then, he just threw a little sneaky little uppercut and just spam around the target.
The movement after.
I mean, who am I watching here? Conor Benn or Bam Rodriguez? Ridiculous.
Yep, the IQ, the ring intelligence, the smarts. You feel Conor Benn could do this for another 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah, it looks comfortable.
And Eubank just hasn't, nothing has worked for him, has it?
No, if he was to go through the gears, which he doesn't need to, I don't think he'd be able to respond to it, Eubank Jr. He landed a nice uppercut, though.
But if he had it in him, that energy, that acceleration, it would have been from the bell,
he would have gone,
yeah. He'd have gone for it straight away.
Yep, he seemed flat. The energy's not been there, whether it is a mixture of the weight or the 36 years of age, the long career, or let's give credit to Conor Benn for an absolute masterclass last minute of the rematch. And he's seconds away.
Whoa!
Right on! And Eubank is down! And badly hurt! And Adam Azim got the 12th round stoppage, and also again. Can Conor Benn just put the finishing touches on what's been absolutely superb tonight? Eubank Jr. trying to survive. Here comes Ben.
Aim low, go high, he needs to do here, Ben.
Eubank Jr. trying to hold on. 20 seconds to go. Unbelievable scenes here in Tottenham. Kevin Parker about to step in. Down for the second time. He says he's okay. And the bell looks like it will save Junior. Down twice. It will go the distance. Conor Benn, you have absolutely rocked Tottenham Hotspur with a stunning performance of brilliant boxing. And Nigel get in there. Conor and Nigel together. The Benns are victorious at last after 35 years of hurt. Conor Benn, take a bow, son. Revenge and redemption for Conor Benn.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. All three scorecards go to the winner by unanimous decision. He's now defeated every man he's ever faced in the ring. He is Conor the Destroyer Benn.
Conor Benn sparkles, shines at Spurs. He's on top of the world, and look what it means to him after everything he's gone through.
After over 3 decades, the Benns finally prevail over the Eubanks as we take a look at this estimable edifice tonight. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium trades football fever for heavyweight fire. Tyson Fury, Arslanbek, Makhmudov, the clash of the giants. But coming up here on our prelims, we've got more action for you.
We continue with a battle of the undefeated. Let's first welcome to the ring from Germany, Simon the Matador Zachenhuber.
Polish power making its way to the ring. The 30-year-old Pavel Simon Zachenhuber, the native of Germany. 27 years of age, 28-0 with 17 knockouts. Just saw a great documentary about the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Happened to be on Netflix, and I have to commend him on his choice of entrance theme as he looks to announce himself to the rest of the boxing world, hoping to keep his perfect record intact in this his first fight in England. Zachenhuber has stopped 3 of his last 4 opponents in the opening round. He's coming off a career best win last July when he took a 10-round majority points decision over Preliminaries and Zachenhuber. The Namibian had 2 points deducted for low blows, and there were those who felt Zachenhuber was fortunate to get the decision. Nicknamed Matador for his tactical ring style, he is set to square off with Polish power Paweł August.
And now let's welcome to the ring a native of Poland, now fighting out of England, Paweł, the Polish King August.
Well, speaking of perfect entrance themes, we can all feel it. Coming in the air tonight, a special night of prize fighting. Here in the United Kingdom, home to some of the most passionate fans on the planet. And tonight marks the 4th stadium show in England over the past 12 months. And Poland's Paweł August wants to make a memorable debut here in Tottenham, facing his first undefeated opponent of his pro career. This is his 2nd fight in 2 months, as he comes off a 6-round points win over Paweł Garage in February. Until 2 weeks ago, he was preparing for a 6-rounder in another part of the world in May and was planning to watch this show on his screen. Well, that changed after Troy Williamson, the British and Commonwealth champion, was pulled out of his fight versus Zachenhuber. August gets the call, and he is looking to make the most of it. Joining me once again is Andre Ward as we get set for this battle of unbeaten fighters.
Gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Brought to you by Ring Magazine and Netflix. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Reese Carter. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with red and weighed in officially at 169.6 pounds. Coming to us from Erding, Bavaria, Germany, he brings an undefeated record with 28 wins. 17 of his 28 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the highly ranked former WBA European and former IBF European champion, Simon the Matador Zachenhuber. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with red and weighed in officially at 170.7 pounds. A native of Poland, now fighting out of Taunton, Somerset, England. He is undefeated with 17 wins. 7 of his 17 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former Southern Area champion and former WBC International Silver champion, Paweł, the Polish King August.
Right, gentlemen, you're professionals, you know the rules. Keep it clean, listen to me, and defend yourself at all times. Good luck, lads. Shake hands.
Reese Carter giving the final instructions as referee. Well, somebody, Zoe, has got to go the way of the dodo as we begin this prize fight between the undefeated Simon Zachenhuber and Paweł August. And so, Andre, you retired as an undefeated champion, never having tasted defeat. Did you feel the pressure more and more as your career went on to protect that O, or was it just about getting the W and getting those paychecks?
Well, it's primarily about the win. I'm a competitive person, so I wanted to just win. But that O had been there since I had been a teenager, and the higher you go in the sport, the more pressure you feel. So that is something that even if fighters say they don't feel, it's there, but all fighters don't deal with it the same.
And we've got an orthodox southpaw situation in this matchup of unbeatens, as August trying to put the pressure on Zachenhuber, utilizing the back foot and now looking to establish the jab on the front foot.
Zachenhuber, he likes to box, and right now August is not allowing him to. He's pressing the southpaw, he's making things uncomfortable, and he knows that Zachenhuber wants to think, and he's trying to take that away from him.
And Zachenhuber should display some fancy footwork. He finished 4th on the German reality show Let's Dance. He went on TV, he said, because during the time it was COVID and there was no boxing, and the money, that was good. Oh, there's a nice right hand by August over the top.
Another good short right hand right there.
And a left hand. He's really sitting down on these shots early.
But I like what August is doing. He's not throwing with all of his might, but they're well-placed shots, and they're landing clean.
And to the uneducated eye, of course, Andre, sometimes you look and say, well, that's not being delivered with a lot of effort or a lot of strength. There's a method to all madness in the ring, right? You don't want to throw everything with full intent all the time.
And with 8 and 10-ounce gloves on, trust me, the opponent feels it.
There's a nice left down the middle by the southpaw Zachenhuber. He finds himself along the ropes as August really sitting down on his shots as they clinch. The referee calls for the break.
Right now, August just has the better game plan right now. And Zachenhuber is thinking too much, and he needs to react, trust the training camp, trust all the hours put in, and start letting his shots go.
And August, well, he has seen this scenario before. He's fighting his 4th southpaw opponent in his last 6 fights. And there's the jab from Zachenhuber looking to split the high guard.
Yeah, August is well acquainted with left-handers at this point. Oftentimes, orthodox guys will overthink fighting a southpaw, and August is doing the right thing. He's just fighting right now.
Yeah, August, nice left uppercut on the inside, right hook, and of course, orthodox southpaw, you always want to pay attention to that lead foot battle, Andre.
Yeah, oftentimes, like we see right now, they step on each other's feet. It happens, but you want to try to win the battle of the foot. You want to, if you're left-handed, you want to keep the foot on the outside of the opponent, and the same can be said if you're orthodox.
And of course, the southpaw's public enemy #1 is that right hand down the middle, although you ask Ray Mancini, no slouch in his own right, he'll say that left hook is also a key weapon.
It's a beautiful shot. I've always landed left hooks against southpaw. The head is closer.
Nice opening round for the Polish fighter, as Andre will take us through some of the action we just witnessed here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Okay, so let's listen into the corner instead.
Pavel, listen to me, okay? Get your feet into range using the double jab. When you're in, sit down, then drop the body, then up through the middle. You have to get your feet in. Do not come back out when you're in. Every opportunity you get to go in, you go in. Keep in fast.
August corner telling his fighter to get into range and get that double jab off, wanting to really establish the stick, although we've seen him very effective with power shots already.
I think he's executing just what the coach is asking for, but the coach is just asking for it continuously. Keep it going.
What about Zachenhuber? If you were in his corner, what would have been the instructions after that opening trade?
He's got a height advantage, a reach advantage. The coaches need to tell their pupil, this is a big stage, this is a big moment. Get busy and get to work.
Round #2 scheduled for 6.
Let the shots go just like you just saw Zachenhuber do right there.
Nice jab by Zachenhuber, opening up the high guard of August. So a better start for Zachenhuber here in the second round, really taking command of the center of the ring, although here comes August now, putting pressure on him, marching forward.
Well, August is going to be who August is. He's going to press forward. Zachenhuber needs to be who he is, which is a guy that has good combination punching. He's got good speed and good technique, but we didn't see it in the first round. We're starting to see it now.
And of course, 3 judges seated at ringside will be officiating and judging each round. And yet, Andre, you always say, well, it depends on what the judges like or appreciate. The #1 criteria is clean, effective punching.
And effective aggressiveness. And we saw that from August in the first round. But I like this from Zachenhuber as well. When he lands, they're clean, they're easy to score, and the same for August in the first round.
Right. Yeah, much better second round start for Zachenhuber, but August not going anywhere. Sitting down on those shots, has the high peekaboo guard, while Zachenhuber really using his jab hand effectively here so far, although got hit with that right. Nice combination from the southpaw stance by Zachenhuber, and yet the power, the shots from August appear to be more damaging.
More thudding shots, shorter shots. They hurt. They don't look like much, but trust me, Zachenhuber feels it. I'd like Zachenhuber to do one thing. Punch and don't go straight back and allow August to get the shot back. Just step to the side.
Yep. Angle out. As August flashes the jab, comes inside, throws a right hand. Just over a minute left here in the second round. Body shot by Zachenhuber with the left.
Both guys exchanged body shots right there.
Nice left uppercut, right hook combination by August.
Sometimes you forget to throw body shots. You get hit with a body shot and you say, maybe I should do the same thing.
Amen.
Good nip and tuck fighting right here from both guys. Not a lot of separation between both guys, but even fighting from both.
There was a time that August was thinking of packing up boxing, not finding a lot of opportunities or momentum in his career. I think what we've seen so far, I think he'll feel pretty good about coming back. It's a nice competitive fight thus far.
Very good fighter. You hear fighters say that often, is that opportunities are not there. This is why this moment for both fighters is so big tonight.
Nice uppercut, right hand by Zachenhuber, but then met equally with that powerful right from August. So we are through 2 rounds here of this competitive matchup on the preliminary portion of the card from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We're coming up on the main card, beginning at 7 o'clock local time on Netflix. We will have Olympic bronze medalist Fraser Clark, who we saw earlier in the ring preparing with his new trainer Joe Gallagher. Well, Justice Hooney is returning to action following tragedy. His former trainer passing away at the age 48 due to a heart attack in the gym. But he is back now, looking to come off his first defeat. He was controlling Fabio Wardley, who's now a heavyweight champ, for 9+ rounds. And then in the 10th round, a right cross from Wardley. And all of a sudden, Hooney had tasted defeat for the first time. So it's a get-back fight for both Clark and Hooney to kick things off live on Netflix.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Coming up at 7 o'clock local time.
Seconds out. Round 3.
And this is round number 3.
Zachenhuber needs to use that long reach. First round, he didn't do enough. The second round was even. There's going to be some separation for Zachenhuber. He's got to get those. He has to hit August at the end of his shot so they're clean shots and they can land with maximum power. Because August wants the fight to be in close where he can land those thudding short shots.
August with a slight advantage over Zachenhuber, statistically speaking. Zachenhuber's thrown more. August landing more at this stage. Uppercut on the inside scores for Zachenhuber, and a cuffing left hook by the southpaw, and he turns with that left hand, but August still standing in front of him and throwing heavy thunder.
Very even matchup for both of these guys. And in these types of fights, I enjoy them for what they are, but I'm always thinking about the next move or adjustment that can happen to create some separation from either fighter.
Well, Zachenhuber needs to separate himself from the ropes. He's pinned up there against August. August, left-right uppercut combination that scored effectively, but Zachenhuber fighting back valiantly.
But to your point, he does not want to be with his back to the ropes. That's easy for a puncher and a guy that likes to fight inside to plant his feet because you cannot escape.
Minute and a half left in the first half of this 6th-round matchup. And again, August on the inside, uppercut. Zachenhuber leaning into him. Gets tagged with a couple of right hands, but still coming back. It's back and forth, Andre.
Yeah, he's going to continue to get tagged as long as he has his back to the ropes. He can't, Zachenhuber, get maximum power or leverage with his back to the ropes. It's just not going to work.
And now, I'm hearing the destroyer video. I'm hearing the video. We're hearing the feet of Ben and Eubank.
Alles gut? Ja. Simon, stelle nicht so lange Zeit. Fliege, gell? Alles gut. Simon, nicht so lange einstellen auch. Müssen wir, da schaust du passiv aus. Und naja, macht dann, klopft da einfach drum und dann die Sendepunkte. Die wieder weg seitlich und boxe wieder. Die einsetzen. Schau nicht so viel. Sagen wir immer die Wahrheit. Also, jetzt kommt die 4. Runde. Darf keine Runde abgeben. Weiter. Der hat jetzt aus der Zweifel gekriegt.
Hey, Junge, don't come out tall. Come on, Pavel. Pavel, beat him ugly. Breathe.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Don't let him have the distance. Even if you're tired, sit on his chest. 6 seconds out.
All right, we are set for round number 4. Zachenhuber's corner telling him to make it ugly if necessary. And for August, continues to march forward behind the high guard.
August has stayed true to form. You can tell this is his game plan to make things rough, make it ugly, and he stayed true to that. But for Zachenhuber, he's been in and out. It looks like he's supposed to box, stay on the outside and have a clean fight, but then he allows his hard-charging opponent, August, to come back in and steal the play.
Yeah, they're standing right in front of each other and at short distance. Unloading, there's the left uppercut in the right hand, an effective combination by August that backed up Zachenhuber, but then he throws a couple of uppercuts and a chopping left hand.
Even from a body language standpoint, you don't want to be where Zachenhuber is. If I'm a judge and a fight is close, to me, it looks like August has the advantage. It looks like he's more effective and he's the stronger fighter.
Yeah, the home advantage or the real advantage, of course, both of them German and Polish fighters here in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Boxing, a global event, and August continues to come forward, backing Zachenhuber back to the ropes. And you're right, it's just even that mental pressure that may be draining Zachenhuber.
It most certainly is. No doubt about it. When you want to breathe, Zachenhuber, August works.
Right.
And when you want to work, August works.
Uppercut on the inside by August, just leaning in, trying to sap every ounce of energy from Zachenhuber. Now they reset in the center of the ring. Just over a minute left in the 4th.
All the great fighters, they learn the power of body language and perception. And right now, Zachenhuber is losing this fight slightly, in my opinion, but he's also losing the battle of perception and body language. August looks like he's in control, and he's fighting the fight that he wants to fight.
Yeah, he has more pop on his punches. Zachenhuber throwing, but not enough steam on those shots, and continues to be predominantly fighting off his back foot due to the pressure of August. And it's not like August is emptying the tank by any means. He's fighting with persistence. Oh, he got tagged there with an uppercut, but still maintaining his rhythm and speed.
August fights with controlled chaos. He's under control, but it's a very rough and tumble style, and it's a style that wears you down, like we said, mentally and physically.
There's a right hand that lands for August, backs up Zachenhuber. A lot of punches thrown here in the 4th.
Got to have a game plan when you fight, and August's game plan is to do just what he did. Put the head on the forehead and the chest of Zachenhuber and just rip shots. No particular shot, just land on the arms, land with uppercuts. Boom, just like that. Body shots. And that starts to wear your opponent down. It starts to make him doubt himself. And when he wants to get a breather, you don't allow it. It suffocates the opponent. That's exactly what August is doing right now.
And August is a truth teller, telling us that he's a pressure fighter and strong body puncher. Both of those attributes on display so far in this fight. He's in his 18th year as a professional. And he says that he was waiting for a night like this. He says it's now or never. And Mother Nature, well, she's giving us a bit of everything so far today. We've got the sun, we've got clouds, and now a little of that liquid sunshine, Andre.
We got liquid sunshine. We have mics in one hand and umbrellas in the other. We're making it happen.
You're looking like Mary Poppins. Very well.
Whatever it takes.
And what it takes is what August is dishing out to Zachenhuber here against the ropes. And Zachenhuber in trouble, trying to fight off and fight back with his left hand.
See Zachenhuber raising his hands and energetic at the end of a round and at the start of a round, and maybe he's watching a different fight than we're watching. Maybe he feels as if this fight is going different than what we see.
Yeah, he's been an athlete throughout his life. Zachenhuber was a swimmer, competed in the pentathlon, biathlon, then kickboxing before turning pro as a boxer back in 2018 at the age of 19. And yet it's August continuing to come forward, land the more effective punches like those.
Those shots hurt, especially midway through a fight. It's a shot that rips around your guard. You think you have it blocked, you think you see it, but somehow it gets through and it's painful. Hits you right on the side of the ear.
And messes with your equilibrium.
That's the shot you wake up with Sunday morning. You say, why is my ear sore?
Yeah. It's like you give your equilibrium an eviction notice. A minute and a half left here in the fifth, and again it continues to be Pavel August dictating the terms of the fight, although not taking anything away from Zachenhuber. There lands a nice left through the high guard, but it's just not sustained. It's not enough, and it doesn't seem to be hurting August as much.
Zachenhuber is doing good, but it's all reactive. He's just not doing good enough. Good enough to stay in control and good enough to be winning, in my opinion, at this point.
Just over a minute left in the penultimate frame. The jab from August. Always working behind that high guard. Lands the uppercut and the short left hook. Curling around the guard, as Andre so eloquently put it earlier in the fight.
It's not about style points with August. Good shot right there from Zachenhuber.
Yep.
But it is about effectiveness. Good shot right there from August. Both guys will break even in certain moments, and Zachenhuber will have a moment, but then all of a sudden, here comes August, stealing the play, closing the round.
30 seconds now left in the fifth round in the center of the ring. And Zachenhuber, from a defensive standpoint, firing the left, the southpaw, trying to solve the puzzle of Pavel August.
Zachenhuber doing very good this last 30 seconds. This is what you're looking for him to do for most of a round, but he's closing the show this round, but here comes August.
And here comes August, wanting to make sure the judges, well, that was pushed down.
Oh, hier head up the center line. Okay?
Lass den nicht immer so schieben, du hast das jetzt noch gut gemacht. Und dann haust den Aufwärtshand den richtig vom Fuß einmal raus. Und dann Seitwärtshand. Und dann gehst du.
Zachenhuber giving more than he actually got this last round, but there goes August coming back. But Zachenhuber threw more, and he's got nice, clean shots when he actually lands. If I'm a judge, I know who's winning those kind of exchanges, and he can also do that inside work, even though he's got the longer arms. Zachenhuber can do more. He needs to do more.
Corners, 10 seconds.
And while the CompuBox stats don't always necessarily tell the whole story, thus far in this fight, August has outlanded Zachenhuber in every previous round. So the sixth and final round is here. So the final round, Andre, and we always talk about adjustments and making those real-time adjustments. If what we have seen and what the judges have seen is accurate, what does Zachenhuber have to do to try to steal this fight from
more
August?
of what he did in the last round. Clean shots, and he's not allowing August to land back. That's the best way you can win a round and dominate a fight, is to hit and not allow your opponent to hit you in return.
One would expect in a 6-round fight, the 6th and final round, to be filled with a sense of urgency. And again, you don't want to be crazy chaotic, but for Zachenhuber, fighting off the back foot, that may not serve him well.
Well, as long as he's landing shots, I think it's okay. And thus far, he's been in control this first minute, but you can see August is trying to find his way in. You see it in his face, and you see it in his body language. Can Zachenhuber stop him from closing the show in this final round?
Yeah, August got the call and came into this fight, even though he's undefeated, with a chance to really be a Cinderella man in his own right against a guy who's highly rated by 2 of the alphabet groups. So a lot at stake, not only just their O's, but the way they are valued as fighters is on the line here. And there's a nice combination from Zachenhuber, the southpaw.
Stepping on the gas, taking risk, landing the right shots, and the shots that will get the judges and the opponent's attention. Making August miss and then landing big body shots right there.
Beautiful.
One to the head.
Yeah, nice combination again upstairs by Zachenhuber, so has been effective with the counter. There's a straight right hand by August, but it has definitely been better 2 rounds, aesthetically speaking, for Zachenhuber again with the 1-2. Nice left uppercut, right hook, and so Zachenhuber is scoring here.
Best round so far for Zachenhuber, no doubt. But August is dangerous until the final bell.
27-year-old Simon Zachenhuber, 28-0 with 17 knockouts against the 30-year-old Pavel August, 17-0 with 7 KOs. 30 seconds left in the fight.
It's been a really good fight.
Yes, it has been a highly competitive affair by these 2 undefeated fighters who will walk out of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with the biggest win of their respective careers. Zachenhuber coming on strong in this round.
Yes, he is. I would not want to be a judge in this fight. Even though I think August may still have a slight edge, that may not be the way the judges see it.
18 competitive minutes are in the books, and it'll be up to the 3 judges to determine the victor. Two competitors embrace, showcasing their sportsmanship, both of them believing that they will remain undefeated, but as Andre Ward mentioned, tough fight to score in certain rounds, although again the offense of Pavel August in the early going, and Simon Zachenhuber coming back in the 5th and 6th rounds. And it will be the referee adjudicating this bout on the undercard fights here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is up to the referee to determine the victor. So let's find out what the referee thought. Here once again is Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Reese Carter, scores the contest 58-56 for your winner and still undefeated, Pavel, the Polish King August.
Jubilation, ecstasy in the Polish corner. They pull off the upset. Pavel August again was thinking about retiring, and instead Zachenhuber left to go. What happened here, Andre? What do you think?
I think that was the right call. I mean, Zachenhuber got started too late. He gave up key rounds. This is not a 12-round fight. It's a 6-round fight. Each round is scored individually, and You don't want to be in a position where Zachenhuber is now, where he can't believe what happened. That's why you try to leave no doubt.
Amen. And Simon Zachenhuber tasting defeat for the first time. That taste in his mouth is very sour. Meanwhile, the Polish king, Paweł August, they will be celebrating in Poland as he improves to 18-0. So this opportunity came when Paweł August was thinking about potentially giving up his career as a boxer. Something tells me he's going to continue his pursuit here and one day hopefully getting an opportunity to fight for a championship. All right, let's now go back to Anna Woolhouse, who's standing by with the victor.
Paweł, you move on to 18-0. I think this smile says it all. A couple of weeks' notice, very much a case of opportunity knocks, and boy, oh boy, you took the opportunity.
I didn't hear what you said, but I had 2 weeks' notice. Listen, I had 2 weeks' notice. I haven't trained. I had one spell where I cut my nose, and I got through it. Listen, unbelievable, really. I knew it was a close fight. But they gave me the decision, let's go.
You read the question, you got it right. I very much said that. In terms of preparation, like you said, you didn't have long at all, but in terms of mentality, you were ready.
Listen, I worked full time nearly, do you know what I mean? I worked full time, and I had 2 weeks notice. I was ill after my last fight. I got through it, I had 2 weeks training, then I got ill again, and then I had a phone call. I got up straight away. My mum said, get the fuck up, it's your chance, son, get the fuck up.
Well,
sorry for swearing.
It's okay. In terms of the fight, very, very close, hard-fought fight. What do you think it came down to?
It was a close fight, but I wanted it. Inside, I overworked him inside, and I roughed him up.
And in terms of next steps, what's next for you?
Sign me on, get me signed.
Don't start.
If he wants a rematch, if he thinks it was a close fight, let's get it over. 12 rounds, 10 rounds for his titles. He's 6th in the world, let's get it on.
Congratulations, Paweł.
All the best. Come on, Johnson, come on!
Paweł August, it's usually parents that wash their kids' mouths out with soap when they curse. Maybe August's mom is going to get the same treatment. But boy, she fired up her son in a fired-up Paweł August, pulling off the upset and remaining unbeaten here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That is why in boxing you stay ready, so you do not need to get ready, because opportunity can come a-knocking any time.
He seized it today. Congrats to him.
And thank you, Andre Ward, as we are just beginning to cook here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. One of the fights everyone is looking forward to coming up on the main card, beginning at 7 o'clock local time on Netflix. It is the return of the Destroyer, Conor Benn, after that sensational duology with his rival, his arch nemesis, Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn is going to get down to business in tonight's co-feature.
Conor Benn is a dangerous, spiteful, ferocious, tenacious fighter. This is me solidifying my legacy by fighting for the world title.
I've been #1 in the world twice already, you know, so I don't think Conor Benn would ever be #1 in the world. He doesn't have a better resume. He's not a better fighter than me all around.
When I shoot, I don't miss.
Conor Benn has come out like a man possessed.
I know I'm world level. I'm gonna show him something.
Light the touch paper.
Let's get this show on the road. Let's get this show on the road.
So yeah, co-feature Conor Benn against former two-time 140-pound champion Regis Prograis. And an interesting storyline in that fight, of course, Conor Benn met Chris Eubank Jr. up at middleweight, and Conor Benn is now making his way back down in weight, going back to welterweight. Now, Regis Prograis said, hey, I'm coming up from 140. Why don't we meet at welterweight, 147, with a rehydration clause? Benn, being the A-side, said, no, thank you. What do you make of that?
I mean, listen, you don't get what's fair, you get what you negotiate. So if you can't win that negotiation and you don't feel you have the leverage, then, hey, kudos to your opponent. So have no issue with it.
David, Conor Benn has been the talk of the boxing world, signing a free agent deal with Zuffa Boxing, the upstart promotion. What do you make of his dealings outside of the ring?
He's done it. If the numbers are what we're hearing, we're talking $15 million for this fight tonight. I've never heard anything like that in my life, and I've been around boxing a long time. If he has negotiated that deal, however he's done it, that's some of the best business in boxing I've ever heard of.
David, you've had to fight with injuries during the latter stages of your career. I think everyone is not at 100%.
Most world champions at some stage are nursing big injuries that they don't talk about.
There were rumors coming into this fight that Regis Prograis was injured. He said, no, I'm fine. He's been around at the top level of the sport. He's now 37. Punch resistance becoming an issue. And sure, it's just a rumor, but what do you make of the rumors surrounding Prograis?
There was probably an injury, like there is with most people in the training camp. Maybe there was a spy in the camp, passed a bit of the word out there, and it sort of trickled out. But I talked to him yesterday at the weigh-in. He said, listen, I'm fine, I'm in great shape, I'm the cause an upset. He seemed very, very confident. He said everyone's overlooking him. He said they've miscalculated. They think they're getting an old guy, but I know what I'm doing. This kid doesn't know what I know.
Andre, with Regis Prograis moving up in weight and Conor Benn coming down, it's funny, both of them talked to Terence Crawford. Crawford telling Prograis he felt better as a natural weight, closer to his natural weight against Canelo, and he feels that Prograis coming up should have better punch resistance, better durability. What do you think of that?
I think that's the case for sure in one respect. I mean, when you take a lot of weight off, you know, we're resilient as fighters. We make it look easy, but it messes with your punch resistance. A shot that you got hit with in training camp or in previous fights, now all of a sudden in this particular fight, you get hurt by it. So I think the weight will help Prograis in a sense, but I'm looking at the legs, at the age. I want to see if there is any signs of an injury. And he said, Prograis, that I've been a two-time world champion, I've been there, but in boxing, you got to show that you can do it again. And tonight, he's got to show that he can do it again.
Well, I'm looking forward to working with both Andre Ward and David Haye coming up on the main card, live at 7 o'clock local time on Netflix. And we will continue with preliminary action here. Once again, Thomas Treiber.
Let's now welcome to the ring from Argentina, Leandro Musculito Blanc.
Argentina with a storied boxing history, and the latest Argentine seeking glory. Leandro Blanc, 32 years of age, a southpaw. He represented Argentina in the 2016 Olympics. This is his first appearance here in Tottenham, second in England, as you take a look at this incredible setting and what will be an electric atmosphere tonight. Blanc's pro trajectory has plummeted from 3 KO wins and 8 consecutive victories to start his career to 4 consecutive defeats, 2 by KO. He's coming off a 10-round decision loss to Joel Agustin Contreras last November, so it really is now or never for Leandro Blanc.
He really does have to make it work now, and he's got the stage to do it. You know, a victory tonight, you know, against an undefeated Liverpoolian. I definitely think he's got it all. He's got it all to do. He's up against it, but this is his opportunity now.
Yeah, Blanc represents the second southpaw that Talon has faced in his professional career.
And now let's welcome to the ring from England, the undefeated Mikey the Omen Talon.
Well, John Lennon may have said at one time the Beatles are more popular than Jesus Christ. Well, Mikey the Omen Talon, he wants to be more popular than the Beatles, this Liverpoolian. He is 12-0 with 2 knockouts, his second appearance in Tottenham. He stopped Faizan Shahid via right uppercut in the 5th round last November. And this is his second fight, in 49 days, coming off a 6-round decision win over Nabil Hamed II 2 months ago.
Yeah, what I liked about him, I saw him earlier with Joe Gallagher, just coming into the ring, getting a little feel of the canvas, bouncing off the ropes, very professional. You know, he's tuned in. He's got a great opportunity here to show what he's got. We've heard the hype. Now it's time to see him on the big stage. Netflix, he really deserves his opportunity now, so he wants to do something special.
Yeah, he has endured several tragedies and tribulations throughout his life, but here he is, looking to improve to 13-0, and he fancies himself a body puncher.
Lucky number 13.
For the Omen.
Joe Gallagher's going to have a busy night tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super flyweight division. Brought to you by Ring Magazine and Netflix. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, and scoring the contest will be Louis Van Potch. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing blue with white and weighed in officially at 113.7 pounds. Coming to us from Concordia, Entre Rios, Argentina. He had an outstanding amateur career, becoming a 2016 Olympian, and now as a professional. His record consists of 8 wins, 4 defeats. 3 of his 8 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Leandro Musculito Blanc. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing gold with red and weighed in officially at 113.12 pounds. Hailing from Liverpool, England, and fighting out of Gallagher's Gym. He had a stellar amateur career, becoming a 4-time national champion, and now as a professional, undefeated. 12 wins, 2 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mikey the Omen Talon.
Okay, boxers, you're both professionals, you both know the rules, you both might expect. If I say break or stop, you break clean, take a full step back. Obey my commands at all times, but above all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Both competitors weighed in just over 113 pounds, set for 6 rounds of action. The undefeated Omen, Mikey Talon, against the upset-minded Leandro Blanc.
Seconds out, round 1.
And David Blanc, representing Argentina, from Carlos Monzon to Marcos Maidana. So many great champions in that country.
There really is. It's a real fighting culture. And you know, even the sparring over there, you know, I've heard some crazy stories of
more
the sparring.
brutal than some fights.
Yeah, it really is. You have to be very resilient to break through and literally represent your country. You've got to beat all of the clubs, all of the, you know, you've got to work your way to the top. And this guy representing in the 2016 Olympic Games shows, you know, at Brazil that, you know, he's got pedigree.
And for Talon, as we mentioned, his second southpaw opponent, he beat Adam Yayaya in 4 rounds in his 4th pro bout, which was back in January 2024.
Seems very comfortable with the southpaw stance. He's not rushing his work. He's not lunging in. He's looking at, you know, he's got the height. He's got the reach advantage, and he's taking his time. He looks very cultured in his punch output.
And David, you mentioned Joe Gallagher working with Mikey Talon in the busy night he has, including coming up to kickstart our main card at 7 o'clock local time on Netflix. He will be, for the first time, in Olympic bronze medalist Fraser Clark's corner as Clark collides with Justice Hooney in heavyweight action. And we will hear from Joe Gallagher with our own Anna Woolhouse coming up at the end of the round as we've reached the midway point of a hello, how are you? Let's start fighting eventually round.
He's just feeling him out.
Good start for Talon.
For Talon, he's getting his range. You know, we'd love him to both just stand there going hell for leather, but you know, this kid wants to do something in the sport, so he's going to have to take his time. He knows his opponent Blanc is here to win, and he's here with the game plan.
And he knows he has to respect his elders.
Exactly.
He's 21, and his opponent is 32. And he using the jab hand very effectively. Downloading the data, as they say, going to the body with a hook and the left hook upstairs by Talon.
When Talon opened up just then, they were very, very crisp shots.
Oh, clubbing right hand by Blanc, and Blanc obviously facing a height and reach disadvantage. And while he has seen better days in his career, you know he didn't come from Argentina just for the paycheck. He would like to announce his arrival on the big stage.
A big win over here in the UK would really open things up for him financially in terms of fights on the horizon.
And yet, Talon very composed. Oh, the body shot, the delayed reaction. Blanc is down in round one.
That was a punch-perfect left hook to the body.
Remember when I told you Talon fancies himself a body puncher? He delivers as advertised. The Omen is 13-0 with his third KO and his first round knockout. You can do it. Put your back into it.
You really can. That's exactly the performance he wanted. He came out, he found his range, took his time, didn't rush, waited for the perfect opportunity and landed that mega bomb shot to the body. It was very, very impressive. Clean. He didn't take any silly shots in the process. Lifted his head up, snuck it in there. Surgical precision.
Liquefy the liver.
He surely did.
Nice punch placement.
Just right.
And like you say, right where it had to be.
It really did. And Blanc has his shorts pretty high up, but he managed just to sneak it into the sweet spot there for him.
Well, Joe Gallagher says that Talon is one of the world's best prospects of the lower weights, a future world champion who is now 2-0 here in Tottenham and a perfect 13-0 in his career. Nothing like a body shot knockout. And Joe Gallagher posing with one of his pupils.
A great start to the night for him.
Amen.
Fraser Clark not far off watching that, his stablemate keeping close eyes on proceedings, and that would have given him a nice bit of confidence as well going to his big fight very soon. I'm very surprised to see him out here ringside, but he's fighting not to in how many hours?
We're just one more fight in the prelims.
An hour and a half he'll be walking to the ring. So
well, he wants to show his support.
Yeah, it's nice.
He's showing his support for one of his sparring partners. Heavyweight Clark, 113-pound Talon. Hey, let's now make it official with Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 53 seconds of round number one. Our referee in charge, Louis Van Potch, reaches the count of 10. Therefore, your winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Mikey the Omen Talon.
Mike the Omen Talon victorious, and we will be hearing from Anna Woolhouse next. And as we await our post-fight interview, want to tell you that coming up on the prelims, we've got more action, including a highly thought-of prospect, Breon Grindtime Gorum, who's taking on Eduardo Costa. And now let's go back to Anna.
Mikey, I'll just let you get your T-shirt on. Tasha, you're dressing him for him, your manager. Good to see you, Mikey. Congratulations, 13-0. Your second fight here at Tottenham as well. You're becoming rather familiar with the big stage and impressing as well.
Yeah, I'd say 2 good performances in Tottenham. Maybe this becoming sort of a home ground for myself, but yeah, you're not getting up from them.
You look very comfortable in there this evening. Still so young, still very early in your career, but you're looking very comfortable. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, that's all down to Joe and the team for putting me in the right direction against the right opponents at the right time, and I'm just improving loads.
Well, let's just bring in your coach, Joe Gallagher. Just come and stand here, Joe, so we can get you in. Joe, originally when Mikey showed up in your gym, am I right in hearing that you sent him away and told him to go back to school originally? Too young?
Yeah, it did. It looked like a schoolboy. I thought it was someone that wagged school for the day and was trying to turn up at the gym and turn pro. And I just thought, oh, you can't have him in, but he mithered and Tasha says, oh, please, please. So he came in, had to move around with Paul Butler, and then I just seen this switch flicking him from such a nice kid. There was this devil burning inside of him, and then we call him the Omen, and I thought, now we could do something with him, but at the right time. We're not got to rush him. That was his 13th fight tonight. I'm looking for the opponent, but not looking for him. And yeah, he's back out now in another small old show, and then hopefully His Excellency will put him out in another big show.
How important was it for you to get the spectacular knockout that you did?
Sorry, say that again.
How important was it for you to get that knockout?
Obviously it's good to get the knockout, but I was just looking to win, and the right shot landed on the day, so I ended up getting the first round knockout. But I'd just like to say thanks to His Excellency Turk El Sheikh for putting me on a big show, and Gold Star Seller and Riyadh Season for giving me another massive opportunity.
I think it's a brilliant time to bring in your manager. Of course it is, the Tasha Jonas. Tasha, good to see you.
Oh, manager.
Manager and vice, I should say. Tasha, how highly do you rate Mikey, and how quickly do you think he should be moved?
He's still a very young lad. I'm actually old enough to be his mum as well. That's a running joke in the gym. I'm older than his mum. But you know, all of his experience as a professional has been all the experience he's had as a senior. So you know, we don't want to rush him into anything too quickly. But you can see from the big nights and the big fights, you know, he needs the big stage to bring out the best in him, and that's what we keep on doing.
He's sat next door to you, but how much of a star do you think he can be?
Oh, he's a star in the making, definitely. I mean, it came highly reckoned to me. I highly recommended him to Joe, and here we are. He does all the work. We don't have to do anything. He does it all.
It was a brilliant performance from you, Mikey, this evening. Before we let you go there, we just saw Fraser Clark sat ringside, your stablemate, supporting you. A word on his fight, how he'll go this evening.
Yeah, Fraser's in great shape, probably the shape of his life, and I've known Fraser for a while. He actually handed me my national title when I won him as a youth. So this is the best version of Fraser I've seen anyway. So hopefully everyone else gets to see that tonight.
Brilliant. Good to see you, Mikey, and well done this evening.
Thank you.
To be 21 again. My goodness, the future's so bright. Mikey Talon might need to wear shades inside. He's a perfect 13-0 now. And with these kind of performances, he could be a bad omen for opponents to come. Well, we are just getting started here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Coming up in the main event, it's the return of the Gypsy King Tyson Fury against knockout artist Arslanbek Makhmudov. The clash of giants, and, well, just like Artemis II went further than any manned spaceflight in history, Tyson Fury's out-of-this-world personality has been on display all fight week.
Obviously, I'm the top man in this division, and I'm going to prove it again and again and again.
No wonder there is a mural in London ahead of what is a massive UK return 3 years since the last time out. Tyson Fury really is generational.
To come back to England and fight here in a stadium at Tottenham Hotspur, it's an unbelievable experience.
Good? Yeah. Let's go. Follow me.
Let's hope I do a lot better than Tottenham are doing right now, because they're shocking at the minute.
Really excited to be in this big show with these big names.
Brendan, get a picture of me and Makhmudov on here. Cool, look at each other, look at together.
I've never overlooked anybody in my life, and I've definitely not overlooked this beast.
I was fine until Tyson started panicking, and then when he started, my heart went completely.
He's a scary dude, and he almost pushed me off the top of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium the other day. I was thinking to myself, why the fuck have I come up here? I was absolutely shitting myself.
This is where the noise starts to build, as the stars of Saturday's blockbuster Clash of the Giants card step up to face the world's media.
Boom, 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 boom. And what happens against yourself and TKV this Saturday live on Netflix? An annihilation.
Yep. A little bit of a better feeling, man.
Hammer is rolling when you're ready.
So, providing you get the win against
Well,
that
it's not providing, it's your life's on the line. This man's definitely a dangerous man. He's as good as anyone else who's out there. And everyone thought it was over, but I'm back. I'm like Batman returned. He's back.
Wednesday night, the fighters receiving the full red carpet treatment as Fight Week kicked officially into full gear.
For the first time in forever, I'm the hunter, I'm not the hunted. I'm looking for a good performance, you know, as good as it can be after 16 months out the ring. I must have done 500 rounds of sparring, and I've still got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final press conference for the Clash of Giants.
In the nicest possible way, I'm extremely violent and dangerous. You got to remember, I've been competing at a weight that's not my weight for the past 2-3 years.
Regis Progress!
He hasn't proven himself world class yet. You know, I did. I've been number 1 in the world twice already. I've been a world champion twice already. So I've been to that top.
Conor, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about Eddie Hearn and your split.
There's a lot of noise. Ultimately, I love Eddie. Period. Point blank. But ultimately, this is about securing my family's legacy, solidifying my legacy.
The Gypsy King, Tyson Fury!
Listen, two big guys go in the ring to kill each other. That's it. Very simple.
I feel actually sorry for Arslanbek Makhmudov. I'm going to make an example of him. He will not be able to get out of the way of me, and I'll knock his head right off his 2 shoulders.
The Clash of Giants, Fury versus Makhmudov. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official weigh-in for the Clash of the Giants, the big boys. And let's bring the fighters to the scales. 267.9 for the Gypsy King. The glory days back.
It is the Clash of the Giants in this giant stadium. Tyson Fury fighting for the 2nd time in Tottenham and for the first time in the UK since KOing Derek Chisora, their 3rd meeting back in 2022. And as you look at the tail of the tape, he's a year older than Arslanbek Makhmudov. They're almost the same weight, but Fury will have the height and the reach advantage. And I'm here with Andre Ward at ringside. How important is that height and reach advantage against the knockout artist tonight?
Well, when you have a fighter like Makhmudov, who's compact and he's physically strong, and power and strength is the order of the day for him, you want to have that reach so you can keep him on the end of the punches, and you can keep that power and that strength at bay. And that's the same thing for the legs of Tyson Fury. His foot game is a lot better than the foot game of Makhmudov, and he needs to show that tonight. We need to see the mind and the energy of Tyson Fury still there, but will the legs and the body cooperate?
In the must-watch podcast Hall of Game with Andre Ward and Roy Jones Jr., you guys talked about the layoff, and I thought what you said about layoffs was very revealing. So talk about the fact that here is the end of his 5th retirement. He's back after nearly 16 months on the sidelines, but not all layoffs are the same.
All layoffs are not created equal. Fight fans and people in general, they just think when they haven't seen a fighter that he's been just abusing his body and not training. But sometimes you tuck away to get back in the lab and to look under the hood and fall back in love with the sport. And that's what Tyson Fury said that he's done. It seems that way. He's excited just for the Fight Week festivities, being back in this great stadium. So we want to see that translate into the fight tonight.
Speaking of excited, Has Roy Jones Jr. come down since that win of Kevin Newman over Elijah Garcia when he went viral?
He has, but as soon as you bring it back up, Roy's right back on point, doing what he was doing before.
So in addition to that heavyweight main event, we've got the co-main event with Conor Benn returning after evening his series with Chris Eubank Jr., and now he'll be taking on Regis Prograis, a former two-time champion, at 140 pounds as we look at the four-fight main card coming up at 7 p.m. local time here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. And with Ben moving back down in weight, Prograis moving up in weight, they say never the twain shall meet, but the twains are meeting.
They figured it out in the negotiating room, and we're going to see who it benefited best come fight night. Conor Benn, he has been fighting at a heavier weight than he normally fights at, but sometimes your body gets used to that and it doesn't like you going back down. He says he's fine. We'll see. For Regis Prograis, he's been a career-long 140-pounder, and now he's going up 10 pounds. And I heard Regis say, man, I should have done this a long time ago. I feel a lot better, and that's true. You don't have to suck your body down as much, but can you deal with the bigger, stronger man in Conor Benn? That's the question that Prograis has to answer.
And unlike the American heavyweight scene these days, the British heavyweight scene is in fuego. Look at the rest of the main card. A lot of great British fighters, including the British heavyweight title, over 100 years of history surrounding the Lonsdale belt. It'll be Jamie Shakiva, better known as TKV, defending the title for the first time against Richard Riakporhe. And heavyweights will kick things off in a 10-rounder. British Olympic bronze medalist Fraser Clark collides with Australian Justice Hooney. A lot of thunder going to be delivered in that ring tonight.
Excited.
All right, it is time for our final preliminary bout. Let's go back inside the ring. Here's Thomas Treiber.
Let's now welcome to the ring from Brazil, Eduardo Para Costa.
I might have the same message. Well, here comes Brazil's Eduardo Costa, fighting for the first time in England. Turned professional when his opponent was just 15 years of age. Comes in with a record of 12-5 with 5 knockouts. Showed durability in his last outing, a 10-round points defeat to Arslanbek Alvarez, the all-action Cuban who won gold at the 2024 Paris Olympics. That was last June, so Costa has been out for 10 months. That Alvarez fight was up at 140 pounds, and Costa has spent most of his near 10-year pro career at 130 at 135.
Yeah, he's facing a very young, strong, promising young prospect tonight in Gorum, but he's been in this position before. Again, we've seen this time and time again, where he's the opponent and he's not supposed to win, but that doesn't mean that he can't win. And this is why the quote-unquote A side, the guy who is promised to win or is supposed to win, better be on point, because guys like this, they don't mess around.
Yeah, the 10-year veteran has gone only 3-4 in his last 7 fights, following a 9-1 start, but he has never been stopped. And he is looking to stop the express known as Breon Grind Time Gorum.
And now let's welcome to the ring from the United States, Breon Grind Time Gorum.
Here comes the 25-year-old undefeated Breon Grind Time Gorum, fighting for the first time in England. His first fight in 203 days, he outpointed Yomar Alamo over 10 rounds last September. He used his skills, second-half surge, and superior body attack to walk down and pick apart the rugged Alamo. Alamo had previously pushed Liam Paro to a split decision and retired after 8 versus Richardson Hitchens. Gorum told us we can expect to see a lot of skills with patience. A dominant Gorum and the shortest time in the ring possible. The motto on his Instagram account reads, chances make champions.
Yeah, Gorum is from H-Town, Houston, Texas. He's got a lot to like about him. Very, very skillful. He's got power, he's got skill, and he looks ready for this big stage tonight.
Yeah, but if it's up to Gorum, it's Eduardo Costa who's going to have the problem.
Yeah, Costa, I think he's going to find out real quick what all the hype's about.
Mauro Ranallo, Andre Ward, David Hay were ringside for this final preliminary bout, and we are all looking forward to bringing you the action of this big night of boxing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The main card begins at 7 p.m. local time, only on Netflix. And there have been a lot of changes at the top of the 140-pound division this year. Both Costa and Gorum would like to enter contender status. Let's get the official introductions now from Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the welterweight division. Brought to you by Ring Magazine and Netflix. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Reese Carter. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with blue and weighed in officially at 140.13 pounds. Coming to us from Sao Paulo, Brazil, he brings a professional record consisting of 12 wins, 5 defeats. 5 of his 12 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Eduardo Costa! And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing navy blue and gold and weighed in officially at 141.14 pounds. Hailing from Houston, Texas, and fighting out of Baytown, Texas, USA. He brings an undefeated record with 21 wins. 16 of his 21 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Brian Grind Time Gorum!
Okay. Okay, gentlemen, you know the rules. Keep it clean, listen to me, and defend yourself at all times. Good luck, lads. Shake hands.
The undefeated Brian Gorum, 10 years younger than his opponent. 21-0 with 16 KOs. Costa, 12-5 with 5 stoppage victories.
Seconds out, round 1.
And His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has arrived, a big booster of boxing and very involved in tonight's proceedings. The first of 8 scheduled rounds underway. No less an authority than Shakur Stevenson, the 4-weight world champion, who spars with Gorum, says that he's a future world champion, describes him as an in-the-pocket fighter, and says he has power, inside game, and underrated defense. Describes him as an aggressive, smart boxer, puncher, explosive, and has been compared to Gervonta Tank Davis for his uppercuts. Of course, Davis landing the mother of all the uppercuts in 2020 for the knockout of the year against Leo Santa Cruz.
When I see Gorum with both of his hands up by his chin, it was an older fighter named Ike Corte, for those that know their boxing history.
Bazooka.
From Ghana. And he would keep his hands right there, and it looks like it's not really a good place, but Gorum has perfected that style, and it works for him, and it keeps his hands right in range to throw whenever he sees an opening.
quite flat-footed. He doesn't have much bounce to it. He's kind of waiting for his opponent to do something, and he's looking for the counters. So he must have very good reflexes to sort of hold his feet like he's doing.
Gorum is also a good counter puncher as well.
Yeah, he comes from a boxing family with his father, his uncle, his grandpa. Dad took him to the gym when he was just 7 years of age, and he took it. He was like a fish in water, and so very composed, very patient here, slowly marching forward, putting together a nice combination to the body and picking off the punches from Costa.
I like that body work early for Gorum. It's like putting money in the bank, and then up the road, 3, 4, 5 rounds up the road, you hit return, and you get some return.
Yeah, Gorum turned pro at 17, had 14 of his first 16 fights in Mexico, and like a Mexican fighter, continues to dig away at the bottom. It's like David said, oh, Gorum has dropped Costa with that chopping right hand. So, early power on display.
It kind of came from nowhere. It just explodes. That was very fast.
He has 7 first-round knockouts. 13 of his wins have come inside 3 rounds.
And Gorum is a good finisher, so I want to see how he breaks free from these clinches from the veteran Costa and to see if he can get another big shot through.
And again, Costa has never been stopped, has lost 5 times, but Gorum beginning to unload and knock Costa off balance, and Costa eating this leather and saved by the bell potentially.
There was no wastage on any of those shots. It was all good stuff. Very, very, very clean.
Gorum did some good work early on to set up that shot right there. We talk about the jab all the time, how it sets things up, it sets the table so you can eat, and that's what Gorum did. He set the table with the left hand, and he ate with the right hand off the top of the head.
He made Costa look like me at closing time for the local pubs here in London. Staggering.
He seems so calm. Very, very composed.
Get your body in position after you touch with the one. He's rolling with a high frame. All right? We good?
Yes.
Seconds out.
We're hearing from his trainer, Juan Lopez, at the Lopez Boxing Gym in Baytown, Texas. He told us that he's worked on Gorum's defense since he turned pro at 17. Lopez says his fighter's IQ is very special, while Gorum says about his trainer, he's underrated and a teacher. Round number 2.
Well, the way that you take your trainer from being underrated to being rated where you think he should be is by putting on great performances, winning over a period of time, and getting that championship belt and defending it.
And he is very close to title contention at 21-0 with 16 knockouts. Costa valiantly trying to get back into the fight after being dropped in the opening round. He goes to the body with a stab jab. Another body shot from Gorum, David.
I've not seen this style for a long time. He's very composed. He waits, but when he explodes, he's so fast. He's so crisp, and he doesn't waste anything. He's not. I said he's quite flat-footed. Most boxers bounce to kind of get their rhythm. You kind of bounce in and out, and you come in with a jab. He's just flat-footed, but he seems so explosive. He can slip and counter and throw a power punch that obviously knocked his opponent down in the first round. So he's a very, very unique style. I haven't seen this before.
Well, here comes Costa now trying to penetrate the defense of Gorum. High guard, protecting himself.
Costa's doing what he can do and what he's allowed to do, which is throw a few punches, but they're not punches that have power on them or that's going to do anything to Gorum. They're really get-off-me punches.
Yeah, Gorum.
And those punches are not keeping Gorum off of Costa right now.
Not at all, and Gorum led with a sneaky lead right hand that began that sequence of backing Costa up. Costa throwing but not sitting down on his punches. Not a lot of steam on those shots, David.
He's worrying about getting countered. He's done that before.
Oh, and he did get hurt there. Momentarily disturbed with that left hook from Gorum. Now changing to southpaw.
Costa trying to do whatever he can do to try to confuse the young fighter.
Trying anything he can. He's throwing everything he's got him, and there's not much there. Everything's bouncing off. I said that no one reminds me of Gorum, but Sugar Shane Mosley had a similar type of style where he'd be able to slip and explode, but Shane's feet were quite bouncy. He used to bounce his feet quite a lot, whereas Gorum just holds his feet. It's like he doesn't even need to bounce.
And of course, Shane Mosley's hand speed was like the fast forward button was stuck.
It looked like he was fighting in fast forward.
Under half a minute remaining here in the second round. Costa back to southpaw, just trying to mix up his looks, trying to keep Gorum off him, and it's just not happening. Gorum very composed, but every shot seems effective.
Your self-preservation is on full display for Costa, and you can't blame him because Gorum has given him nothing but pain, speed, skill, and a high IQ.
I saw Rocky 3. Clubber Lang's prediction was pain. It's always nice when fight week in the hotel you can watch Rocky movies. Let's listen in. How's your Portuguese?
A porra dessa guarda. Você não tá lutando. Vamos!
Shoots up high, really loads up downstairs, and as Costa's moving away, it's a safe shot to throw. Yeah, the shot that he's looking and landing. Yeah, Costa can try and stick his tongue out, but he felt that shot because if he didn't, he wouldn't need to react to it.
I want to play poker with Costa.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Walk a little bit more when you're throwing your jab, okay? Don't be so stiff so you can...
Seconds out.
All right, you got it?
Round 3.
As we begin round number 3, I will ask each of you, beginning with Andre, any adjustments you want to see from Gorum, and then, David, you take Costa. Go ahead, Andre.
The only thing I think that Gorum can do better is just pick up his jab. Just throw it more, be more frequent with it so you can get that right hand through just like you did in that first round. Sometimes you got to go back to what worked, and he's getting away from it just a little bit.
And he's doing that, though, now, and I think his corner wanted him to do just that. What about the opponent, David? It's been tough sledding thus far.
Costa needs, I don't know, he needs a move. I don't know, he needs a lot. He needs a lot. I'm not sure if he has physically what would be required to make any type of foothold in this fight. You know, try and maybe not to get knocked clean out and maybe just stay on your feet and move and lose on points. That seems like the best option for him, because trying to win will just open him up to be countered heavily. You know, the more he tries, the quicker he gets knocked out, effectively.
Costa just landed a couple good, two sneaky right hands on 2 separate occasions, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to be wily, he's got to be crafty, and he's got to try to catch the young fighter slipping. Let him get comfortable and throw that big right hand in hopes that you can hurt him.
Yet you look at Brian Gorum, and it's like you're looking at a textbook fighter. The way his balance, his upper body movement, his punch placement, his delivery system, David, it seems
he's very polished, very sharp, very polished.
Nice right hand.
It's going to take someone very, very special to break him down, because he looks very finished.
Yeah, when
very
you
finished.
Spar with the likes of Shakur Stevenson, what do they say about iron sharpening iron, Andre? You can't do much better than that.
High competitive environment down there in Houston, Texas.
Just over a minute left in the third, and Brian Gorum continues to bide his time. Now coming forward, looking to hurt the off-balance Eduardo Costa, who was dropped in round 1.
Gorum just plays peekaboo, and he hides behind those 2 gloves where it looks like he's not doing much, but he's watching, he's looking, he's looking for that split second. And because Gorum is explosive, he can land shots very, very quickly in the blink of an eye.
And he keeps turning Costa.
Usually when you've got that peekaboo style, you don't throw straight punches that often. It's normally a defensive way to hold your hands, but he uses it in an offensive manner, which is very, very effective.
Good sneaky body shot right there from Costa. He needs more of that. I know it opens him up to get caught with shots like that, but you have to pick your poison. You either lay back and get hit, or you open up in hopes that you can land some shots.
Yeah, Costa has proven to be durable, but he is definitely on rocky footing here against Brian Gorum. We are through 3 rounds of action at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and the undefeated prospect from Houston is in control.
The veteran Costa has not given up. He's still trying to land shots like that. He needs to land shots like that more frequently. But the problem is Gorum, after he gets hit, he comes right back with his own shots. That grazed Costa, but he's landed heavier shots throughout the course of this fight. And there is a clear power difference and skill difference in this fight.
Costa really needs to do something special here.
Put your feet and then you gotta.
With it staying as it's going, he's going to get broken down and knocked out. So he's going to need to do something, change it up somehow. But does he have what's required to do that? Does he have the skill set?
Well, this is round number 4. Undefeated Brian Gorum in the navy blue and gold trunks. Eduardo Costa from Brazil in the white and blue. And it's scheduled for 8. Costa getting a little more aggressive now to start, a little more bounce in his step, but Gorum continues to turn him.
I like the fact that Costa is showing a different style so you can see what else Gorum can do. And you saw the footwork a little bit, something that David Hay didn't see early on, but he was forced to use some early in that round.
Counter left landed there for Gorum.
Big heart from Costa. He's giving it a go. He's trying everything he can. He's really forcing the action the best he can. That's all you can do. He's landing a couple of shots here.
Yep, trying to make the most of this big opportunity in his first fight in England. Coming across the pond from Brazil, while Gorum also fighting for the first time in England. Born in Gary, Indiana, home of the Jacksons, but now living in Spacetown. Space City, H-Town, Houston, and another left hook to the body, well executed by Gorum.
Yeah, it made Costa take a walk around the block and decide if he still wants to stay in here. And thus far, he said, yes, I still want to stay in here.
Yeah, those Brazilian beaches beginning to look a lot more alluring for Costa there, David.
They really are. They really are. But credit to him. He's doing everything he physically can. He's throwing shots. He's been buzzed. He's been hurt. He's been dropped. But,
and obviously there's a class disparity.
There clearly is. But, all you can do is fight the man in front of you. And Gorum's doing what he needs to do. He's getting a few rounds. His defense isn't perfect. He's caught a few shots, but he's able to have a good workout and show us what he has.
And now Gorum looking to maybe put the pressure on Costa. Looked like he was ready to start putting together those combinations again, but Costa doing his best to just keep him at bay for moments.
Gorum does just enough to do that, Costa does just enough to keep Gorum at bay. Right when you think that Gorum has him, the veteran will start throwing some punches to back the young fighter off and at least reset the punishment that Gorum is starting to continuously dishing out.
Here we are nearing the end of the 4th round. It's obvious Gorum has collected the information, downloaded the data in the second half of the fight. You want to see
I want to see another gear. I want to see another gear.
Gears.
He doesn't need to turn any gears up, but as the fight goes on, Costa's energy is getting punched out of him. So he might.
So you think it'll just be the punch resistance of Costa?
Yeah. Once his punch resistance start wading, which it currently is, he's getting hit with more and more shots, and Gorum just needs to continue doing what he's doing.
Oh, beautiful 3-punch combination that hurt Costa.
Nice.
And again, when the tongue comes out, that means the pain is being felt. And Gorum again delivering a couple of left hooks to Costa at the end of the round.
Costa's looking very weary walking back to the corner there. He's spent all of his energy just trying to make it to the halfway point. Whilst Gorum just looks super fresh in there. He looks like he just sat down. Gorum teeing off like he's on the heavy bag. There's nothing coming back to stop him loading up. Looking for those sweet shots around the side.
I like the positioning of Gorum as he throws. Young fighters oftentimes will throw themselves out of position. Gorum is throwing, but he's staying in position. So he can land 3s, 4s, and 5s. And when the return from Costa comes, Gorum is not there for it.
10 seconds.
Very classy stuff. Very classy stuff.
Seconds out. Round 5.
And this is round number 5, scheduled for 8 between the unbeaten Brian Grind Time Gorum and Brazilian veteran Eduardo Costa. And Gorum Now with some lateral movement, flashing the jab, goes to the body with the jab. Of course, you jab the sternum, you open up for the left hook upstairs.
The jab to the stomach when it lands clean is so disrespectful because it's long range.
Oh, and again, that check hook there by Gorum.
And it hurts, and it almost makes you think, well, how dare you throw that shot and land it like that?
Yeah, it's obvious that Costa, for the most part now, is in pure survival mode, and just, you can see even his advances, not a lot of confidence behind his steps.
Well, not a lot of confidence and not a lot of steam. When you get hit with headshots, it starts to dizzy you. It starts to drain your body. When you get hit with body shots, it obviously starts to drain you and dizzy you. And the young fighter hasn't slowed down. He's been very, very steady and consistent.
And the defense of Costa has been porous, to say the least, David. He's not been unable to defend much of what Gorum is throwing.
He really can't, you know, he doesn't even have the legs to bounce around and move. He's in there. It feels like a cat sort of playing with a mouse.
Right.
He really does. He's time, but it feels as though he can take him out at any stage he wants.
And that was a sharp jab.
And what he's doing, he's realizes there's potentially hundreds of millions of people watching on Netflix, and he wants to give us a show. He wants to give us a boxing masterclass, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, he's turning into a sharpshooter now, too, with some of these punches, Andre.
And he's keeping the variation very, very clean, where he's throwing headshots, and then he goes right back to the body. That hurts, and that's a lot to deal with if you're any opponent.
Oh, and another right cross, and I gotta say, the beard of Costa standing stud. Oh, the left uppercut, another uppercut, left hook, and it could be over, and it is. Breon Gorum turning it on and stopping Eduardo Costa. So not only does Gorum pick up a stoppage win, but it's the first stoppage loss for Costa. So that is going to make Gorum feel a little bit better, as the 25-year-old is now 22-0 with 17 knockouts, and it appears he is ready for the next level of competition.
I like Breon Gorum a lot to like, a high upside. I like the temperament as well, not just the punches and, you know, the way he finished this fight, but his temperament. He seems to be within himself. He seems to be extremely confident, and when he walked to this ring in this stadium that he's never been in before, I know it's not full, but it's still a stadium nonetheless, in a big stage, he seemed right at home.
And even the way he celebrated the victory, it was like, okay, I just did my job.
He had been here before.
Exactly.
We only saw 15-20% of what he can do here tonight. Costa doesn't have the arsenal to bring out the best in Breon. He's, you know, I'm very much looking forward to seeing him going through the levels, starting to fight the top 20, top 15 world contenders. So we can finally start seeing what he's all about. Beautiful shots. He doesn't need to load up too much. He's already there. He doesn't wind the shot up. He's like a coiled spring, exploding very, very fast.
Good step around right there that freed up that shot. Didn't land fully clean, but clean enough. He got in position, ducked down, landed a bigger shot. That caused the referee to move in. The tongue came out, so like we've been saying, pain has been inflicted, and the referee's right there looking on. Gorum knows this, and he keeps pouring the punishment on to get the fight stopped. First time that Costa has been stopped. That's a nice win under the belt of Breon Gorum.
All right, let's make it official. Back to Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute 51 seconds of round number 5. Our referee in charge, Reese Carter, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Breon Grind Time Gorum.
Breon Grind Time Gorum, sending a message to the division and the sport that, yeah, there's another young, hungry, up-and-comer based in Houston, Texas, winning his first fight here in the UK. And obviously we've talked about his talents and given him his encomiums. Anything, and there's always more to learn. Anything you would like to see a little more from Gorum in his next fight?
Yeah, it's tough to nitpick that performance because the punches were there, the punch selection was there, the power was there, but it wasn't rushed. The patience was there. He hit his opponent to the head, to the body. I don't have a lot to pick at tonight.
How'd you pick that apart? I personally appreciated the patience. He was in an 8-round fight.
Yes.
He took his time and just slowly cooked him, slowly cooked Costa. just gradually. He could have got him out there in one round if he wanted to, but he might have been missing and swinging. He really took his time and just marinated the knockout there at the end.
All right, well, he is saying that he's headed to the Hall of Fame right now. He's headed to an interview with Anna Woolhouse.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty confident, and rightly so. Breon, really strong performance from you. Your first time fighting here in the UK on a big platform, a global platform, and the biggest stage, and impressing, and also stopping Costa for the first time. Talk me through it.
Man, I'm so thankful, man. I'm so blessed. You know, just to be in this position, just to be around here with y'all in the UK, my first time coming, man. We stopped the guy that was unstoppable, man. I'm thankful.
At the start, the first round, you had him down. What happens rounds 2, 3, 4? Because at that moment, we thought you'd got it early doors.
I just had to take my time. I felt like I was rushing a little bit more. You know, he's a durable guy. I had to tenderize the steak first before I could eat it fully, so.
Well, in commentary, they spoke about how calm you looked and composed, but you still had that explosive style. You've got a very sort of young head, old head on young shoulders, rather.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we're working on in the gym. We're working on being composed, being patient, and taking our time. You know, when we take our time, we get things done the way we need to get it done.
Well, you walked out to superstar, and when you've got the likes of Shakur Stevenson rubber stamping your name, you know you're going to be a little bit good. You've spoken about you want to be Hall of Fame. What's the route to that? I mean, we do have a British world champion here in the form of Dalton Smith. Is he someone you're eyeing up?
Yes, I'm definitely eyeing up all the champions. Man, shout out to Shakur Stevenson. That's my brother. He believed in me. He gave me the opportunities to spar with him and things like that. And he spoke highly of me. You know, I definitely want to go down in the Hall of Fame. I just have to keep doing what I'm doing. Keep staying consistent. Keep staying dedicated to the sport and working hard.
How far off are you of title contention, do you think?
I'll give it another year and a half. Another year and a half, I believe that we could be fighting for a title.
Well, we'd love to see you back, and we'd love to see you back over here in the UK. Brilliant performance.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate the UK. I want to say thank you to Turkey Al-Sheikh, to Ring Magazine, to Zuffa Boxing, Dana White, and a lot more people. You know, thank y'all so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank them all. Well done.
Thank you. Thank y'all so much.
All right, Anna, thank you very much, and thank you, Breon Grind Time Gorum, who took his time and who says in about a year and a half's time he will be ready for a title, and already talking about a place you're in, Andre, the Hall of Fame.
You got to shoot high. It would be very concerning for me to see a young fighter like this with this kind of hype and backing behind him without talking about or at least having the Hall of Fame as his goal. So I love it.
So he remains unbeaten, looking for his next opportunity. And the key, David, of course, is at this stage of career, you want to stay active.
Yeah, activity is important. If he's injury-free, there's no reason why he can't be out there every 2 or 3 months. You know, he could travel around the world. There's so many amazing opportunities, promotions out there to keep him busy. You know, but in terms of skill, I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that.
No.
I heard the hype and I was like, yeah, I'll see it for myself. Yes, he's the truth.
So it's not like Public Enemy. Don't believe the hype. We have, of course, much more to come. It was a great prelim portion of the card here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but coming up at 7 p.m. local time, streaming around the world on Netflix, it is the Clash of the Giants. It's a night of heavyweight action with a catchweight fight in the co-feature, but it's the return of Tyson Fury, his second fight in Tottenham, his 6th straight stadium show, returning after a 16-month retirement against the Canadian-based Russian knockout artist Arslanbek Makhmudov. Conor Benn, fresh off his duology with Chris Eubank Jr. He fights for the 3rd consecutive time in this venue as he takes on former 2-time 140-pound champion Regis Prograis at a catchweight of 150. The prestigious British heavyweight title is on the line. Jamie Shakiba, a.k.a. TKV, in his maiden voyage, defends against Richard Riakporhe. And the heavyweights kick things off. A must-win for British Olympic bronze medalist Fraser Clark and Australian Justice Hooney as they look to bounce back from defeat. So, plenty of meat on the bone coming up at 7 p.m. And a guy who is, looking to change his fortunes on UK soil, looking for his first victory. It's none other than Regis Prograis making his way to the stadium. He's about business. He said, You want promotion, you can let Conor Benn promote it. I wasn't paid enough money to promote. He's a guy with a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He realizes that he's been brought in as the B-side, as the opponent, and yet, when you look at their respective resumes and their body of experience, he has more top-level experience.
He really does. You know, he's a two-time champion. You know, Catterall. You know, Taylor. You know, he's fought the very best. You know, undisputed champions. Haney. He's been in there.
Look who's arriving in style, Andre. None other than the destroyer, Conor Benn, fresh off the biggest win of his career against his arch rival, giving his family, the Benns, their first victory over the Eubanks. Do you believe in momentum?
Absolutely. He's got great momentum, and from a monetary side, a backing side, but then also we talked about names and we talked about resume. Young fighters have no mercy on older fighters. They want those names and the accomplishments that those names accomplished on their resume, and that's what Conor Benn is eyeing tonight.
He signed with Zuffa Boxing. Reportedly, it's a one-fight deal for $15 million. It's a non-title fight, but Conor Benn, who's making his way back down to the welterweight division, has his eyes on the welterweight titles. And so much to talk about still to come tonight, of course, on Netflix. And guys, we've been through the prelims. The stadium obviously still filling up, but it's nights like this when you feel good about the sport of boxing.
Well, I love it because the UK fans always show up. And, you know, there may be some fans that are down on Tyson Fury. He's coming off of 2 losses, coming off of another retirement. But the fans here appreciated what he's done in the past, and they're excited to see what he can still do now. So I love what's happening. This stadium will be filled, and it's going to be electric tonight.
David, you're a former heavyweight champion. The night is about the heavyweights, the clash of the giants. What do you think of the state of the heavyweight division right now?
I think as a result of tonight, Tyson Fury coming back to let the world know, I'm coming back for my crown. The energy is back. You had Chisora and Wilder last weekend. Great fight. Energy packed out O2 Arena. You know, you got Anthony Joshua looking at scenes of him in training.
And, of course, the man at the top, Alexander Usyk.
Usyk's in training with Anthony Joshua. So it's all starting to bubble up nice. Fights that should have happened a few years ago. But I'm happy that we're in a scenario where all of the heavyweights are available this year to mix it up.
But I like where the heavyweights are right now. Anthony Joshua, a little bit older. Wilder, a little bit older. Tyson Fury, a little bit older. And now they're all looking at each other. We're like, well, man, maybe I'll fight you. Well, maybe I'll fight you. And they're at the stage now where, because they're a little bit older, it's going to make for better fights. It's going to be a little less movement. They're fighting maybe for some different reasons now, and I just love where these 3 heavyweights...
None of them are undefeated anymore. There was a time when they were undefeated. Everyone was afraid to lose their own. Now they've got a couple of losses.
Now they're looking at each other.
Yeah.
Well, you're a little bit older. Carl Froch is a little bit older. He's a part of our broadcast on Netflix. What are you telling me, Andre?
Man, we keep sizing each other up. I walked to the back as he was, you know, getting his suit on, and he had his shirt off. I said, man, what you doing back here with your shirt on? And he said, you still sizing me? We can't help it, man.
Of course, we're referring to Andre Ward, who won the Super 6 tournament at super middleweight, meeting Carl Froch in the final. Anyway, a great start to the action here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and we will be back at 7 o'clock local time on Netflix. For Andre Ward, David Hay, and Anna Woolhouse, I'm Mauro Ranallo. We'll be talking to you later tonight on Netflix.
Here comes the Gypsy King.
Tyson Fury.
One of the hardest punchers in the division. About his raw power.
The best of the best of the best.
I'm looking forward to punching his face right in.
It's a fight for my life.
When he puts those paws on, it is trouble. Who will land the first significant blow?
I don't feel pressure. I live for this shit.